captured a good number of ships, and some live aliens to interrogate.
Ooh. So was the fight not as catastrophic as it was thought it may be?
Well, I engaged them mostly in a space battle. They left a picket, so it wasn't as one-sided as I managed to cut off a good portion of their fleet early on. But yes, I managed to get a good way into destroying a large bit of their fleet. They've got basically what looks like a mass transporter, a mass conveyor with some kind of giant lance weapon on it. And that one shot a cruiser, so it's like, I think sure we're going to have to get around that, but equally, if we somehow manage to, sneak ships in system and take it down from the inside...
Well, that sounds like we
could capture it.
You're going to try and mount the alien doom cannon on your fucking Space Hulk for flagship?
No.
Are you saying that wouldn't work?
I'm not saying. You know what? I'm refuge in audacity. There's many reasons why it shouldn't work, but I'm not going to say that it wouldn't work.
This is the whole roller one, and I'll give you a dinosaur jetpack.
No, it's not even that. Like, just a sufficiently well executed and or jammy plan is, I think, what you'd need there.
I mean, I'm down for doing what we did to Darth Vader's ships way back in the old Apostate Marches campaign. Get on board his favorite ship, take it out from the inside. Turns out, clone trooper shit.
Those didn't have void shields, though, as I recall.
Yeah, that's very true. And 5 Terminators against 1 Darth Vader was a little bit unfair.
Have you seen... Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing everyone here has seen the Warhammer 40k version of Darth Vader and his clone troopers. Well, his Imperial Army.
What?
Have you not seen it? It's awesome. Okay.
Oh, you mean the fan art?
Yeah, the fan art, yeah.
No, I don't think
it looks alright. He's a bit dreadnoughty. Oh, I suppose that makes sense, actually. Never mind.
Yeah,
he's... Nah, Calgar got all his limbs bitten off, and he's not in a dreadnought.
Yeah, but Calgar, has plot armor and was only, disabled. He wasn't about to die. Vader's suit isn't...
I mean, Calgar had half his head and all 4 of his limbs bitten off by Tyranids. I'm pretty sure that comes under the heading of about to die.
No, he's a space marine. What's he going to do? Bleed to death? No, his blood clots.
I think he might be... Are you looking at one where they're on Hoth or something like that?
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
Yeah, because that one does look proper. If you look at the one I put in Discord...
Yeah, I'll have a look. But Vader is straight up on life support. This suit is his life support as well. If you take him out of it, he'll die.
Mm-hmm. He's essentially got little nubbins instead of limbs. I think for the most part. I think he only has one hand left.
Yeah,
sorry, one arm.
Yeah, it was the robot one.
Oh really? I don't think I've ever noticed that. That's tragic.
It's
a cool picture, Ollie.
Yeah, because the one limb that Obi-Wan doesn't cut off is the robot one, because that's the one he's using to haul himself up the thing, because he can actually touch the lava.
It's the one that he also uses to stop laser blasts. I don't think he needs to use that limb. Well, it never scorches the blood. It's just using the force.
He could use the others because the others aren't biological. But also, I'm pretty sure he just does that to show off.
Well, absolutely. I reckon
it's a bit like how in the first film he just lifts a guy up without using the force. He just chokes him with his hand.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the first film does also have early installment weirdness. To be fair, Vader is way less of a big deal in the first film, and then they had to go back and do some retcons to make him more important. Cool. So, should we wait for Ollie? I guess, as he's the only person who wasn't here last week.
I'm here.
Oh, you can hear. Cool.
Okay. I'm here now.
So, reminders from the last session. That's reminders from the first session. Coayah has arrived at Ferdinandia with prisoners and information. Coayah wishes to take command of the subsector. Coatlmox thinks the Xenos are destabilizing warp storms? Rainbow Ocelot, I'm not sure if that's the team or the ship, had pirates to deal with. Kuzco has put out an APB via Astropath, inquiring about any conceivable spook spire related structures. Oh yeah, he put out the broad beam astropathic message. Nazeem wants to use carrot and stick methods / to beat up the biggest bully method on the pirates. Kuzco wants to arm the pirates for favours. Kuzco wishes to be wary of the Akareth fleet coming back stronger. And the Akareth seem to have a mothership.
We will be attempting to steal at some point.
So not one for dinosaurs are back on the menu?
Dinosaurs are not back on the menu.
No.
Your Grand Captain has a standing order that anyone who fucks with the dinosaurs will... I forget what the actual punishment was, but
Based.
That's only if he finds out.
Yeah, but he will find out. So...
You forget, young Nicholas, you're part of a Space Marine Legion, and Dead Man's Boots is a valid promotion method.
Let's have a look. You're also one of the least loved people in that Legion.
I know.
No, not you. I was talking to young Nicholas. Your stock's markedly improved. Yeah, well, no, you were, but your Legion keeps taking ridiculously heavy casualties, and those heavy casualties tend to be amongst the murder, who are the people who dislike you. If anything, net, your stock has probably risen. The people who are with you survive, which encourages more people to join Tactical Company. You're doing pretty well on the vote share right now. Not necessarily for good reasons, but all of your detractors constantly dying due to bad luck, their own stupidity, or occasional mistakes is shifting the dynamics in your favour.
I do love accidental political machinations where you just end up rising through the ranks and it's I'm not killing anyone, but they keep dying. I'm not outmaneuvering anyone, they're just really dumb.
Yeah, that's on the surface.
I'm also not going to help.
Deep down, we know this is all on purpose.
Well, to be strictly fair, Benji has expressed on a number of occasions that he would do this deliberately. He just hadn't tried to do it deliberately. It just happened accidentally.
I'll only do it deliberately if I have to.
He said he'd be willing to kill something like 90% of the Legion if it excised the taint of the murder culturally.
Yeah, no, I just put accidentally in big old air quotes and nod and smile.
Indeed.
Did anything happen on Albadeur whilst I was away?
I don't think so, because I think we were just there Ollie's not here, so it feels churlish to do stuff without him.
Yeah. Nothing major, especially then, Ollie, for your reference. Per Benji's comment. There's been a number of minor incidents, so we can do you first if you like, Ollie. Albadeur is basically going through a slowly escalating panic.
Say hi to Captain Decor.
Yes, your schlorped counterpart is Captain Decor, because I wouldn't let them have a Captain Daka be in charge of Havoc Company.
Well, I see.
He's obsessed with interior decoration.
And explosions. Never the twain shall meet. So,
Except
yes.
in his rare form of bunting.
Albadeur is currently going through escalating panic, as I believe you'd ordered... Did you order a search of the planet for Blackstone structures, as well as a...
rapid fortification.
Yeah, rapid fortification. So in addition to that, they'll publication of potential impending doom has caused a mass panic. And a lot of people are doing their best to escape aboard whatever Voidcraft are in system. Chartist captains are desperately negotiating to get away as quickly as possible.
Something about frying pans and fire comes to mind.
Yeah. Can I send out via my cruise ship both an edict, privately in an edict to the 3 who ruled, or the 5, the council who rule the planet, and then later a modified version of that to just every ship which is trying to leave, broadcasting that you're probably safer behind 300 Space Marines.
You fucking big leaguing the rest of your fleet. Yeah, not the millions of army personnel with you, not the, dozens of ships,
It's
300 marines. Yeah, you certainly can, and the local leadership are fully on side with that. If nothing else, what are they going to do if they flee and the whole world is lost? Their lives are basically worthless at that point. But for the Chartist captains, well, if they're just not here, a lot of them have routes they can be getting on with, even if it means they're having to push up their schedules or cut short trading agreements. And you're probably looking at some mild to moderate to major economic damage in the short to mid-term future.
That's always on the the Proto-Imperium's book list. And current Imperium, it's all happening. It's always got some form of mild to medium to high amount of economic turmoil happening.
Flicking through report after report after report, Maccy shakes his head. Collateral damage.
I mean, that's the Administrator's problem, right?
Yeah, for them it's literally collateral damage.
Not wrong. And so the fortification of Albadur carries on apace. Ferdinandia. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you know what? I didn't make the fucking note. Why didn't I make the note of the ship compositions? Oh wait, I did! So, you've taken 2/5 of the fleet to Ferdinandia, as I recall, and it was the most damaged ships you had that were still at Polder, so the ones that hadn't already left off repair and refit in the Omnicantic Protectorate. Correct?
Yes.
Cool. So the trip takes just a week or two. You receive reports throughout the voyage that the walk is growing less and less calm over time. And significant travel delays may be on the horizon. Mobility is likely to be impaired sometime in the immediate future. In addition to that, partway through the voyage, the missive from, I believe, Kuzco is intercepted, and you are now aware that he's put out this official request to every astropath within a sector or so. Well, we'll say a subsector on either side of the two subsectors listed.
Has Cadia been invented yet?
Cadia is currently uncolonized, and it's not been reached.
I mean, also I'm aware it's not even in this sector or anything like that, so...
No, you're still in the segmentum.
Not in the segmentum. Yeah.
Sorry,
Also, the Eye of Terror is not the Eye of Terror at the moment, so you don't really need a fortress wall there.
It's just a big old, jangly, warp-stormy boy. Why would anyone ever want to go in there?
Sorry, I derailed them.
So, Ferdinandia, what are we doing? Coayah.
I thought we'd do more with Ollie, because he didn't get a lot to do last week. I got quite a lot to do last week, so...
Yeah, no, I'm happy to do stuff with Ollie, but we had a look round, and Maccy seemed to come to the conclusion that, well...
Well, in that case, do the guys with the pirate. I got loads to do last week.
You kind of didn't, in my opinion, listening back to the recording, but sure, I'll go do the pirate people.
I got a whole battle to do.
Oh,
yeah, but a lot of it was just coordinating your general staff. Like, you had a massive numerical
that's what I do that's what I do as a Grand Captain. Like, that's the point. I'm not the kind of Space Marine chapter master, because that's what the same thing as Grand Captain is, who just charges in with a power fist and is like, aha, this is how you lead men.
So you're not much of a Space Marine chapter master or Grand Captain then, are you?
Depends on your, nearly bit down on the bait, son of a... So, meanwhile, outside Chime, the warp runner of the 22nd Expeditionary Fleet, Rainbow Ocelots, recently rechristened by its team. What are we doing? You may recall you are currently in system with a number of minor, I think we said 18 to 20, somewhere around there, unless I'm hallucinating, pirate vessels scattered around the place.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh no, that was the fleet at Vollont, actually, wasn't it? So it's not 1820, sorry. So there's an unknown number of pirate vessels in the Chime system. You currently have like slightly weird and competing directives on what it is you actually want to do here. What is your preference?
Brothers Coatlmox and Nazeem. Question of how big dick should we go?
The words "big dick" echo through the strategium of the Rainbow Ocelots.
We could do a show of power, but openly we could try and open to negotiations. Try and hire them if we could find a use for them. Give them false promises of a rope trader writ or something. You know about that yet?
Yeah, they've been invented.
Yep. Brother Nazeem, what say you?
Currently muted, young Nicholas.
That sounds fair enough. Lead with the carrots, and if we need to bring out the stick, it's always there.
Sorry, that wasn't me laughing at you, Nick. I was laughing at something else.
Right.
Besides pirates, what is the information we're looking for here?
I believe we were going to search Chime. It's just that this system happens to have a lot of pirate influence or presence.
Yeah, essentially. The world of Chime itself has quite low gravity for an inhabitable Terran world, which means that it's ideal for smuggling operations because it's incredibly easy to land, well, comparatively incredibly easy to land at least moderately sized destroyer voidcraft on it, and being able to land your voidcraft on the planet's surface makes things immensely easier.
How's this for an offer we could shout them then? We could just open comms. Hi, we're from the Imperial Fleet. If you let us conduct your investigation of the planet in peace, we won't have you all destroyed, or something to that effect.
It's a ball move, Cotton. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
So much for carrot. That's just all stick, basically.
The characters, they get to keep their lives.
I like that that's literally the fuck around and find out of speeches.
Yeah, well, part of me indeed agrees with this method. I do find that potential to remain incognito would possibly be valuable. This, as if they do decide to come together to face us as one, I do not believe our chances in combat are too beneficial.
I believe the idea is to try to negotiate, and if that fails, instantaneously blow up the biggest stick there is.
You've now all got, the three of you, 3 separate and mutually exclusive plans. For the record, I don't think you can stealth them super easily. Your ship is pretty obviously like loud and proud Imperial. The Emperor. It's not that he doesn't go.
I mean,
the Emperor doesn't do subtle.
Well, he does.
Yeah. But my point in that is, like, space is a big place, and unless we get close to someone or announce ourselves, like, unless someone's specifically looking, then they're not really going to be like, oh, there's that fucker over there.
They might just think you're another pirate, it's true. You would usually pay attention to like any voidcraft entering a system, but their augury arrays probably don't reach out that far. They'll be able to tell, because, assume the light takes, 20 minutes to go from the translation points to the planet. They'll be able to tell that you're there in some way, shape, or form. It's really difficult to hide a voidcraft without weird future tech or xenotech, but they can't necessarily tell a huge amount about you other than maybe ship size.
Because, my figuring on it is there's going to be a limit to their detection range and stuff.
The only thing is, I'd have said they'd have really good detectors because they're pirates.
I mean, it's possible, but again, I believe their original description was, I'm going to say somewhat lacking in the value department.
Yeah, pirates. I mean, it depends very much on the piracy outfit you're dealing with. This is more of a budget budding pirate port. They're essentially squatting the ruins of the world. I don't know if I think you're probably dealing less with the type of pirate who, like, stealthily... sorry, I'm getting, like, weird fuzz from someone. I think you're dealing probably less with the type of pirate who, like, stalks their prey quietly from a great distance, and more with the type of pirate who, like, knows where the main commercial translation points are, camps the zone where people translate in, and then starts firing on them immediately whilst their warp engines are still spinning down.
Okay, so
as for negotiation,
that said, you are risking things a little bit, and there's a not insignificant chance that Benji could be right, and there could be some like better equipped pirates mixed in there. So it's your gamble, really.
yeah.
Even if I say they're better equipped in terms of their detection tech, does not mean they're going to be better equipped in terms of fighting tech. It's just, it seems to me the kind of thing they'd emphasize would be, we want to know exactly what targets to go for.
I mean, that might be what they want. It's not necessarily what they've got access to.
Yeah, I say on that note, like a slight amalgamation of the plans. Scan the immediate area, look for the biggest, baddest ship, get in contact with them, go with Creed's original deal.
I was now thinking we could try and offer them like a legitimacy to their budding pirate port. Be like, we'll try and legitimize your claim to this planet's recolonization if you let us investigate the site.
And then just forget about them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we could try. If they turn out to be alright guys, you know.
I mean, yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Legalize crime on this world if you aid us in this investigation.
Oh, we'll change its name to Crime instead of Chime.
God damn it.
Hey.
I don't think any of you, strictly speaking, have the like legal authority to do that yourselves, but you could argue that you're acting in the name of your Grand Captain. I don't know how Coayah...
They also don't know that.
Yeah, they don't know that. It's more for your reference as players. Okay, cool. Sure. Well, in that case, Group Rainbow or Team Rainbow Ocelot. What is your final plan? What do the other two of you think?
I mean, I thought I chimed in.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like the other two of you, because you've suggested a counter plan. So I'm wondering what Creed and Nicholas think about it. As the three of you stand aboard the Strategium, quietly stroking your beards, heads,
yeah, I want my arms
bolters.
crossed, but like...
What was your thought again, Carl?
So it's pretty much what you're saying, but we specifically target like what we can find to be the biggest, baddest collection of ships that look like a single outfit sort of deal.
Sure, I'm on board.
Do you not want to like contact everyone at the same time?
It's easier to negotiate with parties individually than as a group. Like, so if we get the bully on our side effectively, then we can use them to bully another group, and then another and another.
Yeah. Okay.
If this was Rogue Trader, we'd just have them all to dinner aboard the ship and try and persuade them to become a cool new fleet.
Don't give Nick bad ideas.
Guys!
You have staterooms for the record. You are allowed to, and per official canon, an allocated bunting budget. You are allowed to organise dinner parties if you wish.
Yeah, so we could, like, organise a dinner party and, like, conduct formal negotiations in such a manner.
I feel like this has happened before in another campaign, and it did not go well.
Dinner
Quite
parties.
a lot of time we rigged the dinner parties with explosions and stuff in Rogue Trader.
That was,
well, now and then.
one time that I can think of.
I'm sure there's been.
And the main reason you did it was because you were also going to be... you know what, let's pace. Cool, so I'm hearing one vague no and one vague yes, which sounds like enough to probably overrule as the council of Team Rainbow Ocelot comes to their ruin. It's not too much work for you to find the largest ship in the system. It's already heading out to investigate you, two other smaller ships trailing behind it. What missive will you be sending? I assume Kuzco, as you seem to be the driver on this, as you'll be entering into augury range, as well as long-range comms, any moment now.
I don't think that my talkie talks is good, but I suppose I can give it a shot.
I mean, you can also, like, direct one of the other two. I don't mind who rolls it, but it seems like your plan. I think you've got ownership on it.
I have a fellowship of 34, so I reckon it's probably not this. I shall be on hand to assist with any and all skills I can.
It's my fellowship. My fellowship is... Fellowship is 37.
Okay. Let me just check. Like, you got charm or anything like that, you guys?
We all have it basic.
Yeah, I just have it basic.
Oh, yeah, but, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, nothing special. And I can't see them or anything, so I can't use any psychic powers to help. So...
Right, let's organise a dinner party when none of us can actually host a dinner party.
Yeah, right.
This, to be fair, is just the initial talk.
Okay, well, I mean, you guys both have higher fellowship than me, so...
Alright, I would like someone to make a little speech. Tell me what you're doing, and then we'll decide a roll in the next, 5 seconds.
Can we paraphrase?
Hello, good sirs. We would like to parley. Is that right? I use that word right?
Yeah, that's how you can use the phrase parley. Alright, I'll take a charm at +0.
Assist me, friends.
I'll assist you.
Oh.
Mate.
You're right. 5 successes? No, 4.
Yes, sat in the delightful rocking chair mounted betwixt Seb's tank treads. Rocking chair? Regular chair. Armchair, there we go. You God, my brain. You project a surprisingly folksy image, even flanked by the ordinarily imposing forms of Kuzco and Nazeem.
I will be at my Terminator, as I always am.
For negotiations. I suppose it is just over comms at the moment. Sure, the chair sort of slowly buckling beneath you.
As the retcon happens, he suddenly was 2 inches lower.
The sound of Seb's suspension slowly giving out. He squeaks, desperately trying to not moan in pain. Completely unknowing of why you rigged his suspension up to his pain sensors.
Knowing this lot, shits and giggles.
Yeah, well, entirely, I think. It's a solid 10 minutes before the message goes out and then arrives back. The craft have stopped, or come to a low coast, far, far, far outside operational weapons range. But they're close enough to be able to see you. Imperial. Conqueror. State your business in our system. Invader.
We would like to investigate the damage done by the Xenos attack, and see if we can confirm some theories of research we found from the other attacked planets.
10-minute ping in between each one of these replies. Your kind are no longer welcome here. It is you who brought the doom on this world and its populace.
But it is us also who may be able to see your claim legitimized.
Our claim is already legitimate. Finders are the keepers.
That may be so in your ways, but we could make it so in the ways of the Imperium as well. You wouldn't want to later have to fight a greater force, would you?
We do not recognize your Imperium or your false Emperor. You have moved through this You have moved through these stars. He completely fucks his delivery on the recording as well. It's not even recording, it's a live transmission. It's just 10-minute pings in between each. And there are no larger forces returning. Otherwise you would have defended these worlds you conquered. We have conquered it back, and we intend to defend it.
Guys, I didn't like it when he said bad things about the Emperor.
I didn't either. Shall we blow him up?
I mean,
he has just slagged off the Emperor. You are sort of.
I think we blow him up, guys.
Blow him up.
Yes,
my only consideration is we're in a relatively light void craft.
Yep, it is your scout, essentially. It's a warp runner. You are outnumbered 3-1.
Did we probably one-tap it, though?
Not really, no.
Oh.
If you had the Obsidian Heart, then yes, but...
I wanted to blow it up and then ping the next ship and go, we would
haven't really,
like to parlay.
boarding crafts. We haven't really any boarding craft, do we, or anything like that?
Not like serious boarding craft, and...
Wait. We spoke about this when we started this.
You do not
Once
have
we got our
to fire.
Terminator armor, we can start flinging ourselves at stuff.
Yes, if you fling yourselves at them, due to the millions of kilometers in space, it will take you far too long, and it will be way too easy for them to dodge you.
No, I'm aware of that. We just get closer first.
Have we got word from Benji hitting Ferdinadia yet?
I don't think he was messaging ahead, but no.
Also, would they be able to tell it's a life sign, or would it just seem like space debris if a Terminator was flung towards them?
Unless they were really specifically looking, they would almost certainly think it was debris.
Equally, they would notice that you'd thrown something at them and would move accordingly.
Yeah, but... Yeah, he's not wrong. Like, they would really easily dodge you, unless you were super, super close. And even then, the relative velocities involved mean that you would likely... What happened when Cread hit the train last time?
Yeah, but if I lead with my sword...
Train died.
No,
The problem
young
is
Nicholas,
we need to stick around.
Oh, I see what you mean now. I've got you.
To get an inertia high enough that you could intercept a void ship in void-based distances, you would have to be travelling so fast that your literal body would liquefy.
To be fair, he's talking about like flying within almost visual range first and then doing it. But even so,
visual range in space is
exactly.
Like,
You'd be 20,000 kilometers distant, say, and a slight differential in speeds would mean that you'd be hitting at a really hyper-conservative estimate, relatively hundreds of kilometers an hour, more likely in the thousands to tens of thousands.
I mean, if you're
I am sorry, fun police. I shall stop.
Ooh, it's like, if you want to... So...
It's like 40k has physics now or something. What?
It does have some physics. It's not super physicky, but like if you fling yourself.
We obey the laws of inertia. We do that.
It's like how in Star Wars, Chewbacca can survive everything except a moon hitting him. Like, there's an upper limit on the bullshit you can pull from the Emperor did some gene craft and made the space marines. Like, yes, you are big and tough. You are not invincible.
So, what are we doing, folks?
Can't get our astropath to ping the Obsidian Heart and find out where they are.
Yes, but it will not arrive in time for this conversation.
Sure.
You're probably looking at like a day or two.
Is there anything our described so disgracefully Imperium can offer you at all, then? No way for us to make peace over our wants?
There's a slight delay, as the return message this time isn't immediate. What have you got?
You heard of a writ of trade? Potentially get you installed as a rogue trader family.
Writ of trade?
It'd be like being legally permitted pilots. They don't even have to follow all the same rigid rules we do.
Seb offers to send over the standard Imperial pamphlet on what is a rogue trader.
Beam it over, Jeb.
Age of mercantilism and you.
It's sent over in a packet. 40 minutes go by as they read through the materials provided. And you can provide this?
We can see it arranged.
You legitimately can't, by the way.
They don't know.
Well, I'm just checking that you guys don't know.
I mean, I think you actually
I think we've
can.
stated it like 3 times now.
I think the Emperor's the only one who can legally sign off on those.
No, he signs
who's his best bro? I can't remember who he's called.
Malcador.
Yeah,
he signs off on the most important ones. But it'd be pushing your authority a bit, but you could probably get away with it right now. If nothing else, who's going to stop you?
Yeah.
Very true.
I suppose Weslin might, frown at you slightly, but you've got Peer. You have to really fuck up before you lose that talent.
Fine, just make it non-inheritable.
Unfortunately, it's kind of a condition of them that they are inheritable.
Yeah. I was just taking the piss of small print.
They're even technically, what's them called? Almost bearer bonds, so it's whoever's name is at the bottom.
Yeah.
That's why if you can, acquire someone else's warrant of trade and Tipex out their name and write your own in instead, it still counts.
Because, I remember in the Rogue Trader campaign, when Mao was, what's the term? Getting usurped by his family. That's what they were trying to do.
Because that's the family writ of trade. That is for their dynasty. It's more like if Gabby had stolen the writ of trade, Tipexed out the quill name and put Gabby whatever her surname was, and then just run off. There's not a huge amount Mao could have done about it, short of capture her and get the warrant back.
I would just love that, to see two names interchange several times.
More angry Tipexing. Each name written more.
What are we doing?
How do I like the look of the pamphlet? Can we proceed?
Yeah, they want some guarantee, basically.
If that's the case, we shall have to meet with our fleet captain.
I'm just doing the best I can to keep a straight face and not break out into "and bring the Emperor's wrath down upon ye!"
That's kind of what I want to do. But...
Well, yeah, shall we just, this is the front now to get close.
Creed, it's fine. As soon as we have the Mega Doom cannon, then we shall bring the Emperor's justice to these things.
So you're going to retire to the edge of the system and phone home for a bit, then?
Phone home.
Sure.
Okay, the ships prowl away warily as you traverse out to almost the Urt cloud. Coayah, you've just about arrived in Ferdinandia when your astropath sends a courier to you with a message from the Chime system. Team Rainbow Ocelot have firstly renamed their warp runner after themselves, and secondly, insert Creed's message here. Creed, what are you sending to your, sorry, not Creed, I should be using names. Maccy, these fucking titles. Coatlmox. What are we sending to your grand captain?
The initial message would have just been a location report, and a second message would have been encountered pirate resistance while attempting to investigate Chime. Delayed them with potential promise of a rogue trader writ. If you can provide that or the might of the fleet, it would be appreciated. Or rendezvous points. They do also.
Your astropath dates the message as perhaps a couple of days old, Coayah. Maybe as little as a day.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, I presume I have a backup nerd.
Yeah, well, depends on the nerd, but yeah.
But you know how young Nicholas is like my go-to legal expert? I presume I have a backup.
Yeah, you've definitely got scholars aboard the fleet who can be backups.
Excellent. I shall call for my backup nerd and for a meeting with Weslin, who I presume is still on the ship.
He is indeed.
Exactly. I'm going to check the records and ask him, do I have the legal authority to grant a writ of trade?
Weslin...
I'm going to ask first.
Weslin seems slightly stumped by the question. It's not something he'd ever really thought of. The Emperor should be doing it, but it's ultimately paperwork, and it's been delegated to Malcador previously. The nerd looks terrified. I'm just going to roll on his behalf to see what he gets. Okay, 3 successes from the nerd. What is the answer you're hoping for here? Are you hoping for a yes or a no?
I'm hoping for a yes.
Okay.
But I said, the reason I went to the nerd and also to Weslin was just to say, I can do this, right? I'm not going to get shouted at for doing it.
So Weslin is a little bit in two minds on the matter, and with 3 successes, your assistant scholastic adjutant. Sorry, Nicholas, I'm echoing on you, mate.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. Your assistant scholastic adjutant is of the opinion that, yeah, you have the legal right to do this. You have the legal right to reclassify planets. You should have the legal right to reclassify families. You are an extension of your Legion Master at this particular moment. Tricenter, I believe we said the name was. And
Didn't even think we had a name.
I think it's only come up.
Center.
Tricenter.
Oh, okay.
And it's only come up like once, maybe, in campaign number 1? Yeah. And you're even the second Grand Company Captain? Or the second line Company Grand Captain, I guess, for the sake of not saying Grand twice in the same sentence. So you're notionally high ranking, even though that's, I guess, technically unofficial at this point, but it's still, everyone knows that's a quite low number. The legal adjutant is of the firm opinion that yes, you can, and that there's a decent chance that other Grand Captains elsewhere probably have, at least with good cause.
I presume that you would have given me a full rundown of the amount of pirates within the system, the fact that they've got like 20 ships?
There were at least 3 ships. Oh, sorry, there were at least 3 ships. There were 3 ships in the interdiction force that came out to greet the little destroyer. There were assorted other pirate ships in the system. I don't think they had a firm scan. Let's take a retrospective augury roll, actually, shall we? Can I get an augury roll on behalf of your crew, please? Someone from that ship hasn't rolled much yet. Carl. So that would be 40 plus, I think augury generally rolls at a plus 20. I recall the rogue trader.
Fucking barely.
Yeah, squeaked a pass. Yeah, so they registered somewhere between 10 and 30 visible ships. The issue is they don't know how many are parked on the planet or in hidden in the wreckage drifting above the world. There's also more than a few that had clustered up. This is a not unfamiliar pirate tactic where when unfamiliar Voidcraft enter a system, they'll group their ships as closely together as possible. They know you can still see them, but it makes it harder to detect, like, is that one large ship, is it 2 medium ships, is it 6 small ships, that type of thing. So, probably somewhere between 10 and 30 visibles. It would likely be more towards the higher end of the number, but smaller ships, rather than the lower end with larger ships. With an unknown number of additionals on the planet or in surrounding minor star systems.
Okay, well, in which case, warrants of trades are just warrants. I can't issue like a minor warrant or something like that. It's just a one-stop shop of big warrant.
You can issue a warrant of trade with conditions. And they do come in like different varieties somewhat if you want to issue like a warrant militant or a warrant trade, etc.
Like, choose the most restricting one possible.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the offer I'm going to float on the table for all these pirates. And you can broadcast this cross-system. My offer is this. Joining the fight against the Akareth for the safety of this subsector will gain you, as master of your ship, a minor warrant of trade for free access within the neighbouring star systems and neighbouring sectors. Being an active participant and gaining any bounty placed upon Akareth in the battles to come, if you choose to join with us, will gain you a major warrant of trade, allowing you free access throughout the Segmentum Solar for trade and militant action. This offer is conditional, however, on no attacks on civilian populations, ingratiating yourself with a sector defense fleet. You do not have to fight with us, but you have to fight with them, and on general good conduct. I will ignore smuggling for now. We're at a time of war, but it happens, but keep it out of sight. But, like, any attacks, unsanctioned behaviours, anything like that, offer is withdrawn, and you will be hunted down.
You have a bigger dick than you.
Okay. I think your team on the ground might have some issues with slightly harsh conditions in terms of how the pirates are supposed to shift over to making their money. But that sounds like their problem. And otherwise, a lot of the restrictions there are probably pretty fair. If you're happy with that, you can broadcast it back.
It will be kind of a hard sell from them.
Yeah, I think a lot of it you can get away with, but and you must immediately stop doing piratey things is...
No, I said smuggling and all that is fine, just no, attacking civilians on the planets. We need them...
And I guess they can always adopt the oldie solution of just doing it without anyone noticing.
Okay, I will add on an addendum to that. Any ship that joins us will gain full bounty paid out by the Adeptus Mechanicus for any Acareth technology or information they capture. Mechanicum. Basically, you get any information on the Acareth, you will be paid a handsome bounty.
Yeah, what happens when the war with the Acareth is over, I would think is
they get their major warrants of trade if they join in and help us.
But if they don't risk everything to help you, then they've signed up to this, and they don't have any economy. That said, big fat dose of not your problem.
Big fat dose of, well, when we win the war and re-establish Imperial control over the sector, if you haven't joined up, then we're not going to be happy about this. So, we're often offering you a chance to get in on the ground floor of this ship and make a lot of money.
And, I mean, they're pirates anyway. It's not like they do what the law says in the first place, so...
Oh, you could also encourage infighting by putting a bounty on disobedient pirates.
That's the point, yeah. Anyone? Okay, I'll add that as a further caveat. Anyone who joins up with us will be able to gain free bounty on anyone caught violating the terms of this agreement. Free salvage right to the ship, and bounties on important personages.
Prisoner's dilemma them. Game theory. Like it. Okay. And it sounds like that message goes out, which means Team Rainbow Ocelot, you get your reply just a day or two, day and a half, we'll say, after you sent out your initial message. You can consider yourself to be aware of all of Coayah's terms there. What do?
Can I just re-beam that message to all the pirate ships?
All of them? At once?
Yes.
Carl, what were you going to say?
I was pretty much going to say the same, but, start with the one we had last contact with.
Sure.
Because, basically, if he, starts to try and, negotiate with us, then we're like, fine, if you don't want to take it, then we'll give it to everyone else.
You begin to approach the system once more and are rapidly met by your courting escort of 3 pirate destroyers. The lead ship chimes in over long-range vox. Do you have our guarantee? You simply reply with an edited broadcast of the messages you got from Coayah. A few extra minutes pass past the ping distance before you reply. We want chime as well. This is our world, we've taken it, and we don't intend to give it up.
If they're rogue traders, that's legal, to be fair, so that's not a problem.
Rogue traders only have the legal right to conquer uncolonized worlds.
It's not currently colonized, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
it was colonized. It became uncolonized.
Yeah, but I don't know if that means.
Either way, I'll tell them that that's how it works, even if it isn't.
Yeah, can we effectively lawyer the crap out of this?
All right, I will. I mean, they want to believe you. I will take a charm at +20 from one of you.
Assist up. Nick, Phil, got assists? Mm-hmm.
Oh, hell yeah, I can assist. I'm wondering if we're trying to lawyer. Okay, don't worry.
Oh, sorry. One success.
Oh, well, basically by that I'm saying, if they want chime, then technically just leave it uncolonized, and then with their writ, then legally colonize it, and yeah.
Yeah.
One success, do you say?
Yep.
Okay. Takes a little bit of discussion over what does and doesn't constitute a colonized planet, and the pirates seem really, really interested in that idea of colonized being able to revert to uncolonized under specific circumstances.
Astute businessmen.
But otherwise, they're about on board. You know what? He never gets to name anything, and Benji's the one signing their writ. Benji, what will you call your newly spawned rogue trader dynasty?
Jefferson.
The Jeffersons have a different backstory.
They're currently also extant, so, it's not like I can...
Different. We're not having 3 separate Jefferson families running around the place.
I mean,
They might explain their population.
What are we doing here, Benji?
I'm not sure. Does anyone else have any ideas?
no sensible ideas.
The
What's the
Chime
question?
crowd.
What are we doing?
Naming a rogue trader family.
Oh,
Go on, have a pun.
well, I was gonna. No, I feel bad because what were they? Pirate?
The pirates.
I mean,
And
no,
the pun they want is chime.
okay, no,
Jimmy.
charming.
What was that, Benji?
I was going to say call them the Garys, but
You want to call them the Garry's dynasty?
yeah.
As in the Garry's dynasty plural or the Garry dynasty?
The Garys, plural.
The Garry.
Can you make it so that they have to legally rename themselves, whoever's in charge, Gary?
Yes. No, not just Gary, the Gary.
Yeah.
The Gary.
With sub Garys beneath them. Is that where this is going?
Yes.
Gary.
He's not my line manager. He's my Gary manager.
Wait, this isn't a fucking Fallout joke, is it?
No?
That would be Dave.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, I think this is correct. So it's a little bit of back and forth and astropathic wrangling, but eventually the newest rogue trader dynasty to be added to the Imperium of Man is created, headed by Gary of the Garry's dynasty. If Team Rainbow Ocelots and Coayah would like to add Peer Gary's dynasty to their talents list.
Yes.
So happy.
I don't know why this is making me just...
Within hours of his ennoblement, Gary Garys dubs himself Duke Gary Garys of Chime, which he renames Gary's World.
Gary's World.
We're gonna add it to the map.
God damn it. Hold a sec.
Can we update this?
Duke Gary, the Gary of Gary's World. I love it.
Ferdinandia is going to have a fucking stroke.
And hey, I went to the custodian and the legal expert. I'm entirely within my power to do it, and they could suck up that one.
Ferdinandia is going to have a stroke. And, what is it? Is it Gorgon?
Hesperidge probably won't be that happy about their new neighbours either. Well,
We just cured them of their pirate problem.
Basically, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, they're not
I like
pirates.
that way of thinking. Yeah, they're not pirates anymore.
Yeah.
A rogue
They're
trader
a pirate
problem.
problem.
Privateer. There is a strong legal distinction there.
In practical sense, we've made it a lot worse. But on paper, we fixed it.
You know, I'm honestly just surprised that when you were setting the official legal terms for this dynasty, you didn't put anything in there about them having to answer when you called them to battle.
We missed a beat there, boys.
Well, no, I mean, because we said that they had to fight with.
Yeah, literally, their writ. The writ they've got at the moment literally only covers the star systems surrounding them and maybe the odd subsector surrounding in Segmentum Solar.
Yeah.
It says dick all. If they don't fight with us, they don't get the pimp one.
Yeah, but that's not what you... So as long as they're happy within the Rimwood's Wraithling subsector.
I think
we're never
you're forgetting
coming
one
back
key.
here.
I think you're forgetting one key factor here, Ewan. Greed.
I mean, greed's definitely there, but they did just get a planet.
But I could offer you a planet, or I could offer you 3 planets. What are you going to pick?
Well, they've already got, 3 colonizable planets within reach anyway. That they now have
give them a whole lot. They might be quite satisfied.
legal
But hey, as
right
long
to
as they let us
claim.
research the planet, right?
I, for one,
They'll
look
still do
forward
that, right?
to the new subsector of Gary's stars, made up of Gary's World, Bountiful Gary, Vollont-Garry, Tigariantis. And I guess...
it's Gary, Valley, and Tally.
I'm so mad at you. So... Is anyone informing Maccy of this, or is he just, quietly dealing with escalating civil panic on Albadur? I guess why would you tell him, to be fair?
Paperwork.
I don't think Benji even told us he's, at Ferdinandia now, or that he has the Xenos specimens.
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
Yeah, I sent that in a message last week.
You guys have been communicating. It's
okay.
Maccy who's kind of been stuck on soldier duty, on guard dog duty.
How is my guard dog duty going?
I mean, your naval forces are still stretched thin. You're thin. You're currently dropping prefabs all over the place and staffing them with whatever PDF troops, conscripts, and your own Imperial army you can get your hands on. As well as, in the early stages of implementing rationing, as you're otherwise expecting probably a famine to hit the planet. Probably sometime soon.
No, a good famine does wonders for the soul of a soldier.
Not a big fan of the phrase "an army marches on its stomach," are you?
No. I've always thought that was a phrase written by quitters.
That sounds like something written by someone who doesn't have orbital deployment solutions.
I, for one, enjoy Maccy being the world's only morbidly obese space marine.
Not Terminator armor he's wearing. It's just really stretched out normal armor.
So, Coayah. You've now been drifting around in Ferdinandia for a week or so, being pretty heavily distracted by the whole warrant of trade business. Wesselin sort of vacillating between being comfortable and uncomfortable with it, and your legal adjutant and his entire staff really excited. This we get to draft a warrant of trade. Oh my god, this is huge. What else did you want to do whilst you were in the capital?
Well, I'm going to be going down to see what the heck's his name? What is his
Primary
name,
Iterator Zabo Glen Harris.
Yes, I'm going to be meeting with the government of the subsector and coordinating defense. I'm here to cut through the red tape.
With a flamer.
Zabo bows.
If it has to be, then yes.
Zabo bows low as you finally arrive at the capital after a slow trip-in system. Welcome to... He sighs and shakes his head. Honestly, the biggest bloody mess I've had to deal with in my career so far. He gestures behind him at the local magnificent Senate. The adjective is their own. A colossal building, from inside of which can be heard the arguing of hundreds, maybe as many as 1,000 senators, all of them with individual and unique points of view, some of them imperial colonists brought in, some of them local houses, collaborators with the imperial invasion, some of them newly raised. 1,000 members, and no two of them agree with any other two for longer than half an hour. He kicks a sheaf of papers down the long stone steps to the distant street below. The administrative waste. What do?
I'm going to tell him to summon the Senate.
They're, you can hear them. They're already in there, debating, yelling, arguing.
Right. I presume I've got full honor guard with me.
What would you like to have with you? Describe to me, or describe to us, rather, yourself and your entourage. How are you looking?
Okay, I'm going in full regalia.
Outstanding.
So, banners, pennants, proper armor, all the good stuff. And we're going to bust in there and just generally, we're not going to take no for an answer.
So you've got Hannibal Lecter, the now Grand Company standard bearer, as well as Middling Nicholas, Or I suppose Middling Nicholas is a Havoc Squad member, actually, so he would have been with Tactical Company. Other than that, you don't have too many other minor NPCs to you. It's really just Hannibal Lecter and... I mean, if
doesn't really, but as long as I've got a bodyguard of Terminators, it's fine.
Yeah, you've got your bodyguard of Terminators. And are you wearing your Terminator armor or your robes?
I've got Artificer armor, don't I?
You do also have Artificer armor, yes.
But I'm going to go robes.
You've probably got access, to be fair, to, I would say, like a decent force field generator, one of the ones that doesn't give you like a solid flash or anything for civilian meetings. Certainly Zarbo's got one.
Can I have it built into a really fancy sort of asymmetric pauldron that goes over one of my robes?
By all means.
Huzzah. I'm going to be fancy.
As you march into the glorious gold-flecked white marble building, surrounded by bronze statues, each of them depicting noble figures from the past of Ferdinandia, the largest of which is a knight plunging a sword deep into the rock as a monster rides beneath him. You hear the yelling from inside grow louder and louder until at last you emerge into the upper wings of a colossal chamber.
Even quick note, is that statue of a soldier made of black stone or normal stone?
It appears to be made of metal.
Okay.
The building is marble, the statues are mostly brass and bronze. The room is broken up into gaggles of several hundred senators apiece, each of them clearly headed by whatever the local equivalent for a keeper of the peace is. You're not familiar with the term. Someone to head the discussion. It looks less like a single central pit and more like a quarry, swarming with demagogues. Your nose wrinkles a little bit at the inefficiency of it all, as well as your first time being on planet playing havoc with your oversensitive inner ear. First time being on planet in a while, rather. Sorry.
Again, one of them. What?
A little voice at the back of your head. What you said, a little voice at the back of your head urges you to take skins. These inefficient wasteland. You quiet it down almost reflexively. But it was still there. What do? Zarbo's trailing after you, your honor guard flanks you.
I presume I've received a full report on many things on how things have been going from Zarbo Glen Harris, which factions are doing what, and how, if at all, the mobilization of the subsector's various arms and armies have been going.
You will have indeed. Can I get an inquiry over intelligence roll, please, at a -10 for analysing the report?
Can I utilise my resident nerd?
Yeah, you can have the nerd do it and explain things to you. That will change the tone of the flavour you get back, for the record, but you can.
Can I have my nerd assist me to get a better roll on it?
You can. I don't think we want to have the set the precedent that the NPCs can assist you, because the NPCs are trained in basically everything. So they a ship NPC, so they'd just be able to assist you on it literally everything. So it'd be a 3+10 all the time. But you can still have the nerd roll do a crew roll instead if you'd prefer.
What was the
Did I say -10 or -15? It was inquiry over intelligence at either a -10 or -15. I forget what I said.
I'm at 35, so the NPC is technically a 40, which is better, but he can't roll fate.
It's true.
Well, you give someone a writ of trade, maybe you can give someone, whatever that talent is that gives NPCs, glory and fate points. Probably be one, be the other.
I'm not an Inquisitor.
Yet.
At all. Right, okay. I'll roll myself then.
Okie dokie. Best of luck. Don't get one.
That's too good a failure. Let's get for a biscuit. That was a terrible idea.
88. What's your doff? Oh hey, psychic phenomena. 5 degrees of failure. Yeah, reading through the report, at first you thought you had maybe some kind of grasp, but looking over this, there's so much guff. How can a planet operate like this? What are all these factions, these alliances? None of this is organized. This is all just pure, teeming, seething chaos. Wouldn't it make much more sense to have just one strong person in charge making all the decisions? That long-repressed, tiny voice at the back of your mind, when you were going over all of this stuff in your study on the trip over here, every time you'd have that thought would hiss just a little, yes. So you have had the report, you've gone over the report, and you've decided that the report is so hideously complex that you're not even entirely convinced that Zarbo wrote actual meaningful words in High Gothic. What do?
Right.
You can still, for the record, consider yourself to be, like, appraised on the basics of like, the Ferdinandian political situation, just the minutiae are utterly beyond you, is all.
I presume from the report I've gathered that has the subsector's arms and armies been mobilized, or are they paralyzed with indecision?
So they have and they haven't. Worlds-wise, Ferdinandia lacks a fair amount of control over a lot of its outlying planets. Ghoul, Naxos, and Ballast would be the major sources of other armies, and none of them have significant void presences, nor were any of them particularly willing to help out with the defense of anywhere else, so none of them have really responded, which means Ferdinandia is mostly mobilizing its own arms and armies. On that front, they're doing a moderately good job of at least getting active enough to probably defend themselves, but they're in a pretty sorry state in terms of actioning defense of other places. There's so much overlapping red tape that everyone's constantly blocking each other from going off to help anywhere else. It's honestly a miracle that they organized the survey teams as comprehensively as they did. The nearest people in the chamber have noticed you and fallen into a hush, but it's still only a couple of dozen.
Citizens. Do any of them respond, or do the rest keep shouting?
A lot of the ones nearest you, especially as sort of elbows start to fly out and people go, fucking hell, Space Marines, turn to pay attention, but the room is so vast and there's so many more people in it that plenty more are thoroughly engrossed with their yelling.
I will turn to one of my Terminators and give him a signal to fire a burst into the ceiling.
Well, that'll get their attention. The almighty Thundercrack blasts out colossal rock shards from the marble. Several senators go to break and run. The majority stay, looking round, terrified as they notice you and your honor guard. You have a split second to capitalize on your drama, or else try to prevent a rush. What do?
I would like to use my 3 lungs and the fact that I've got, probably, I presume, a Vox unit that I brought with me to make speeches in this massive sod-off room.
I think it's very fairly said that you probably have, like a stealth Vox thing mic'd up for yourself. So you can consider your voice to project if you wanted to.
Yes, please. Citizens, we are assembled here to discuss but one topic: the defense of this sector and the Emperor's people.
It's a small cheer from sections, and a noted blanching in others.
Quite frankly, I do not care for the various minutiae, reprisals, and feuds that are going on this chamber otherwise. All of it stops now. The only thing we need to concern ourselves with is the destruction of the Akhareth and the safety of the people of this expanse of the void. I will be taking my troops and taking charge of the various troops within the subsector. Staying here will be Zarbo Glenn Harris to help coordinate with you. He is a trusted ally of ours, head of our iterate. His word is entirely relied upon in our legion. If I get so much as a hint that any of you have deviated from this purpose, used it to settle old scores, or in any way hindered the destruction of these foul Xenoth, I shall rain destruction and death upon you and your house. I will erase you from history and raise up new, better houses from the ash. Join with me, friends, and together we will throw back this menace and make this space free and safe for humankind.
I like how you threaten to atomize their families and immediately call them friends.
They are my friends, until they make themselves my enemies.
This did happen on when the Imperium came through here last time. So literally a load of these people got their positions because that happened. So everyone knows it's not an empty threat. Yeah, I think you've earned yourself an Intimidate over Fellowship, a plus 50.
Plus 50. These guys are shitting themselves.
I mean, it was a plus 40 right up until the and we'll kill all of you again because we'll clean house as many times as we have to. Comment.
It's a path.
Ooh, the temptation to re-roll. That's only, like 2 DOS?
Yeah.
You couldn't get 100, could you?
Temptation strong. Do I do it?
Wait, what? Did you get a failure?
No, I passed it with 2 degrees, but do I re-roll for a better one because I've got a plus 50?
What you...
He's essentially rolling at cap, or very close to it.
Yeah, fuck it, why not? Story, right? Do it for the story.
Do it. Life dangerous.
Oh, okay, I'm still... I think that's only 1 degree now, because its cap is 90,
only
right?
1 degree of success. Cap is indeed 90. Reroll to an 80. It is a headshot, though.
Can I make the point by just headshotting a serf?
What type of gun do you have?
A bolt pistol.
Someone decides that now is the time for a very ill-advised assassination attempt. Rushing forwards, Sic Semper! And in about that moment, fairly effortlessly to puncture his speech, Coayah quick draws his bolt pistol and cracks off a single bolt shell directly into the would-be assassin's skull, detonating them down to the stump of the neck, and bringing the total senators down to 999. Nearby, someone else immediately enters cardiac arrest from the shock, bringing the total senators down to 998 within moments. Your speech, though damned good,
I killed 2 men before breakfast with a single bolt pistol shell. Excellent.
Is anyone else a little bit sad that, like, our killing someone with bolt pistol shells, with a single bolt pistol shell things, will forever be... It's competing for silver medal, right? Like, the chances of anyone ever outdoing young Nicholas's one bolt pistol shell for a planet is...
There's a plan later in the whole thing if we get to the Heresy where at some point I'm going to try and get the most pimping bolt pistol ever and try and kill a Primarch with it. Just to outdo I killed the planet. Cool, I killed a Primarch.
You do that, I'm shooting the Emperor.
Yeah, but you gotta kill him with the bolt pistol is the thing.
Would be a very different narrative. The arch enemy of the Imperium. It's not Horus. It's fucking Coatlmox.
You guys do that. I'm going for the Imperium.
I literally
as a whole.
Oh wait, no, I'm muted, aren't I?
No,
you're not
muted.
Well, then
You're
clearly
Nicholas.
Nick bad is.
You cannot bolt pistol the warp itself.
Going to bolt
Bolt
pistols.
pistol versus each. Who would win?
One bolty boy versus
Now,
one.
I would have argued to say the same thing about a planet before I did it, so...
I mean, it depends on how big the bolter is, right?
So,
It was a standard
regulation
bolt, my friend.
size. Yeah, regulation. Pace. It's a damn good speech, indicating your grace, tact, and fury.
You quote fucking
Yeah.
It's Always Sunny at me.
You'll be in and out like a demon's whisper. Your iterator raises an eyebrow.
Falcon.
Spiritual. Imagine the greatest Grand Captain inauguration speech this campaign. Well, I have the grace of a falcon and will be in and out of this orbital bombardment like a demon's whisper. Oh, sorry. The Always Sunny gang of Space Marines is a surprisingly strong party pitch. So, it's a damn good speech. And in some areas it garners riotous support. In others, shocked looks. But as you heel turn and leave the chamber, your honor guard slowly peeling out behind you, you don't hear yells. Instead, you hear Zarbo Glen Harris's clear, commanding tones begin to echo out, cutting through the chamber, as, with this little bit of reinforcement, he's able to start trying to really bring the Ferdinandian defense forces to heel. Meanwhile, on Albadur, Maccy, how are you feeling about being left on guard duty?
Well, I mostly put myself here, so I'm pretty happy about it. It was guard duty I, for the most part, chose.
Yeah.
In fact, I go here.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. This is an honor, really, right? You feel good about this. So good. You chose this. And would not have had it assigned to you if you hadn't chosen it.
That literally was the case. No, I'm over it. Yeah, I'm pretty happy about it. I'm waiting for these I'm wondering a little bit why I bothered fortifying this place. More that because now I'm dug in here. I can't really go to another planet in case it needs help. But we can always uproot their economy a second time and fuck off if we need to.
You know what? You got this.
Yeah, I'm going to try and drum up some local support. I think I see the citizens are not reacting as patriotically as one would hope. I will let the little children look at the Terminator suits and the graviton guns and such.
So you want to host a sort of press event, essentially?
Essentially, yeah, but with more graviton cannons than your average press event.
Yeah, like the Space Marine equivalent, a sort of...
A meet and greet.
What do you want to roll for this, Ollie? I'm having trouble.
Ollie has created a Make-A-Wish Foundation. And the only wish it grants is to meet the Space Marines.
Charm, I guess?
Common Law Imperium?
No, this isn't a common law test.
Maybe just straight fellowship. I think just straight fellowship.
Straight fellowship. Yeah. I mean, you've got charm.
But this will become under corrals.
Do we have corrals?
We have corrals.
We do have corrals.
Do we?
Holy fuck! Yeah, you can. This is totally corrals. Oh my god! And blather.
Why is Corral's toughness?
Yeah, I mean,
it's normally for drinking, but
okay.
You can roll over fellowship, Ollie. It's fine.
Can I roll it over toughness instead?
In what context is this toughness for you?
It's tough for me to open myself up to this many people.
That would be willpower.
Damn it. Yeah, okay, I can't think of anything. Right, fine, fellowship it is. I'm going to spend a fate point.
Hondo,
you get 100 just stepping on a child.
Hondo!
One more fate point. I have another fate point.
You can't re-roll it twice, Ollie. You're stuck with the second roll.
No, I thought we could do it if we got the same number as Emperor says no.
No. And
no,
you didn't get the same number anyway. You got the 89 and 87.
We discussed that we thought about having... You can do redos as many as you got, but it's just not as fun.
Okay,
because if you've got sufficient fate, you'll just redo. You'll save them all for that one roll you have to make, and it's just not as fun.
Mm-hmm. In which case, then slightly better, I suppose.
It depends. What's your DOF, Ollie?
Well, that's still 4 degrees of failure.
4 degrees of failure.
You're stepping on a child.
Okay, you don't have to step on a child, but if you're okay with it, I'd like you to step on a child.
I would not like to step on a child.
So rather than stepping on and killing a child, can you just be walking through a door, talking to someone, and just kick a child through a wall? They're not dead, just horribly crippled.
I'm the reason Make-A-Wish Foundation is created for terminally ill children, because I keep terminally illing children every time I go there somewhere.
Oh, you leave the Make-A-Wish alone. Okay. So it's a press event, a meet and greet, to try and get people used to Space Marines, to these grand heroes of the Imperium, to see you as more than just warriors, as liberators and defenders.
I'm liberating someone from their limbs, alright, I think.
You are wearing full Terminator armor. You have around you members of Havoc Squad with graviton cannons. Havoc Squad is not known for its restraint, and when one child asks to see a gun in use, Middling Nicholas, showing the child the gun, is only too happy to demonstrate how it works. And a building that he thought was uninhabited, in fact, is the ancillary press bunker.
No.
Oh no.
It crumples and the screams begin. Let's give you a chance to try and, claw this back a little bit, Ollie. I'll take a speedy command check, please, at +0.
Command is Fellowship again.
Mm-hmm.
Command, I do not have a plus in it. Fellowship. Do I spend I got 2 degrees of failure there. Do I spend a fate point?
Up to you, mate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that the exact same number?
Do I lose a fate point from that? Please say no.
You do, yes. I don't know where you're getting this same number.
No, I know. That one was just made up on the spot, but
Okay, cool. That actually makes me feel a lot better, because I was, doubting my every reality for a second then.
Story God say no.
So, several members of your squad, hearing the shot fire and then the screams, react thinking that they're under attack, and swing into battle position. Though no additional shots are fired, the children around them become ancillary concerns. More than a few go flying as they're physically and rapidly twatted full body by grav cannons wielded by Terminators.
They're probably fine.
You see a press camera sent flying so hard. Pickcorder sent flying so hard into a nearby journalist that the man's neck snaps backwards. And for a staggering moment, it looks like he has nothing so much as a single ornate pickcorder where his head should be.
Why does everything I touch die?
The banner of Havoc Company, with its unofficial motto of "Let's cause a little chaos," flutters as it breaks in the wind.
Let's cause some chaos.
Let's cause some chaos. I'm glad we sorted that out.
That's the most important.
Lands
Let's cause a modicum of chaos.
atop a screaming child who thrashes beneath its weight in confusion and pain. The debacle quickly spirals out of control in news sources.
Right. You know what? I'm going to be the biggest guy here, both literally and figuratively. I'm going to stay around. I'm going to answer. I'm going to answer to the crimes. I'm not going to go to jail for them, but I'm going to answer to them.
The locals are baying for blood for these.
I wouldn't accept too harsh a punishment, but I'll stick around for a while.
For these marine murders.
I'll say sorry, but I'm not going to mean it.
Including, most especially, this Brother Captain Middling Nicholas. Sorry, Brother Sergeant Middling Nicholas. The one who took out an entire bunker full of journalists in a single ill-timed shot.
To be fair, that is gross negligence.
It is, and that's what they're charging you with.
Yes.
Well,
murder also.
I'm going to charge Middling Nicholas with this. Middling Nicholas is going to... Can I...
What are you going to do?
Well, I'm kind of thinking of just sending Middling Nicholas to the murder squad.
Can I counter-propose we just make it Legion tradition to always demonstrate guns for kids?
Macuiltotec, in his later years, proud of the one tradition that stuck throughout the Legion, showing off big guns to small children.
A decision, please, Ollie. What are you doing with Middling Nicholas?
They want his blood.
They essentially want him turned over to the civilian authorities, which will not likely go well for him.
I'm going to have to explain that unfortunately I cannot hand him over, but he shall be dealt with in our own internal court, and he shall be tried. No, he's going to be put into the death squad.
In that case, riots ensue almost immediately on Albadeur.
It's fine, peasants. We don't answer to you. We'll punish him ourselves, but we don't answer to you.
With a number of them targeting Imperial institutions and Imperial Army personnel.
Oh, god damn it, Middling Nicholas. Right, okay, he's left me no choice. I guess I'll see how it happened over a couple of days. I will...
Show them the might of Emperor's justice.
I will...
Skin them all alive.
Some of the members of the Murder who happen to be with your quite large contingent do advocate a path of simply skinning one or two of the larger local towns, thereby forcing the rest to acknowledge your superiority.
Why do we not simply just eat the little ones? We are the larger one.
Why does Ross, the largest of the three Imperials, not simply skin the little ones?
I'm going to come down on Orlando with Middling Nicholas. And Middling Nicholas has been shorn of his armour.
What are you going to do here? You're going to hand over an Astartes?
I'm not going to hand over an Astartes. But I am going to, I don't know, invite people to come out or go to a secure location where I can at least have the 3 arbitrators of the planet see what's about to happen, have it televised and sent out.
Ollie learned by watching me. I think I know what's going to happen.
I'll have him. Middling Nicholas is wearing his ceremonial robes.
Like,
that's so hard to get the blood out.
Oh well. And in this presumably secure location, hopefully anyway, that I'm still wearing full Terminator armor.
You can arrange for a secure location if you want. Yeah.
I'm still wearing full Terminator armor. Put the helmet off though, so people could see it's me. And I presumably have access to. You know what? Maybe actually, no. Okay, So I'm going to have Middling Nicholas kneel down in the center of this secure area. He's not shackled or anything like that.
I don't know if he's super willing to kneel down. This feels an awful lot like you're going to murder him.
I'm straight up going to pin him to the ground with my
Seismic escalation detonator by any chance?
Not the Deathwatch graviton cannon. The seismic escalation detonator will just shake me, him, and the entire place to death. Maybe they're small enough.
In this little arena, far away from any major centers of population and thoroughly shielded.
Actually, let me quickly look up what the seismic because it has a range, and if I can get out, I can just put it on top of him. And then shake him to death. You know what? No, I'm gonna Deathwatch graviton cannon him. I'm gonna have a couple of Marines with me as well. I think actually, honor guard style to hold him by the shoulders.
I fear a dangerous precedent is being set.
I mean, to be fair, in the last campaign, I straight up had one of our Marines beaten to death.
That's true.
But different circumstances.
In this case, though, he did fire on a building without even checking first. Like, it was in the middle of the city. He just fired on a building for the people, journalists nonetheless. And then many children were maimed, especially the Banner side.
So what?
But they're riot now, and I need the planet under control if we are suddenly attacked.
As you prioritize your duty and your defense, even though a little voice at the back of your head tells you that, no, aren't these are just mortals, and your Middling Nicholas is supposed to be your brother, isn't he? And members of the Murder voiced this, per Carl's comment, out loud. A lot of them seem quite uncomfortable with this. More than uncomfortable. Not quite mutinous, but not too far away from it. Yes, you know that you're doing the correct thing.
Yeah, okay, so I'm doing the right thing here. I'm going to have the Space Marines of my Havoc Squad, 2 of them hold his shoulders, and tell them, some sort of speech about how this is, we can't let you deal with our issues, but we can deal with them ourselves, and we will show you that justice can be brought to heel Where justice can be brought. You know what I fucking mean.
Middling Nicholas spits back at you. You won't even fight me. Look at you, all armored, and here I am in nothing but robes. You have a gun, and I have only my fists. You're no brother of mine. You're a coward.
Oh. Are we going there, are we?
You're about to execute him.
Sudden respect for Middling Nicholas shooting through the roof.
I turn to Middling Nicholas. How would you prefer to die? By my gun or by my hand?
Middling Nicholas doesn't answer verbally. He simply raises his fists.
I don't know how easy it's going to be for me to get out of this Terminator armor, but fine. Fuck it. I'll answer his challenge. Now, I only have a weapon skill of 30.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But
I respect your initiative, though.
I have...
Sorry, I was distracted relaying the news to Rosie. What's Ollie done?
He was about to execute the dude, and the dude was like, I'm here unarmored, you're in your armor with a gun? This is bullshit, you're no brother of mine. So he's like, throwing down, are we? Take off my Terminator armor.
All of this on public broadcast to the world. Credit to Ollie, like, when it was pointed out to him, his response was to just have people come forward and take off his Terminator armor. Takes 5-10 minutes as it's like thoroughly brought off you by a team of rushed up servitors, leaving you to crack your neck as you and... Sorry?
Imperial justice is a fist fight.
Yeah.
It isn't a habit sport. You know what? It's a dead man's last wishes, you know? Who am I to deny them to him?
The man who he might kill in close combat before he's cut down.
Now, that sassy response isn't there to be said in character. However, Mackie's "it's a dead man's last wishes, who am I to deny them?" is able to be broadcast live to the billions of people watching the Space Marine robed fistfight. Okay, as Swole Nicholas and Maccy prepare to throw down. How do you want to do this, Ollie?
So, I would like to... It's been so long since I've done combat.
I think we'd probably do it as, like, my gut says a weapon skill contest. First to X-DOS.
Yeah. Sure, weapon skill is enhanced by your strength bonus, right? So we both get pluses to that.
Weapon skill isn't enhanced by your strength bonus.
Yeah, it is. Oh, well, no, sorry, it's weapons are enhanced by your strength bonus, isn't it?
Yeah.
But do not, because I have unarmed master. It doesn't matter if we're not really recording that damage amounts, but unarmed master means my fist counts as weapon, so I would get the strength bonus applied to those.
Yeah, but he also has unarmed master.
Yeah, I know.
So we're basically assuming that both of you are perfectly capable of beating each other to death with your bare fists.
Yes, I think so. Cool. Well, we both have a natural soak of 14, so we'll see how it goes.
I mean, we're not going to roll damage, we'll just roll the DOS. See who wins.
Problem is, right?
So he's crew, so he'd be rolling at 40 or under.
Yeah, I'm rolling at 30 or under, so... any pluses I can get? Oh, I guess it's a basic attack, right? And we did say actually...
We'll let you have your basic attack if you like. He'll also get his basic attack, so the difference remains the same.
I know, but it makes me feel a little better if I'm rolling at 40 or under.
It is technically net better for you.
Yeah.
It reduces the stage at which you can crit fail.
3 DOS. 4 DOS. 3 DOS. There we go.
Isn't that DOF?
DOF, sorry. Yes, that was the word.
Okay, so it's at... I should do a little... Okay, so cool. -3. 2. Oof.
Oh, fuck me.
That's 23, 43. 3 DOS. -3 to 3. Okay. As the two of you rush forward, and he, in the opening punch, sends you straight down to the floor.
Oh,
You're back up on your feet with a flip. Almost immediately, but the blood is streaming from your nose, and your head is spinning and woozy, your balance just a little bit off kilter. Round 2, go.
15.
DOS?
Rolling 40 or under. So, 2.
Cool. Net -1.
God,
Jesus!
Damn it, really? 4 dots.
Oh, as an extra wild card, how similar do these two Marines look?
Probably not that dissimilar. They've both got the same gene seed, right?
Yeah. Just wondering, like, if he wins, he can claim that he successfully executed the trait.
I see. You want to see if fucking Middling Nicholas can execute Maccy and then pretend to take his place.
What? Sorry, we're running this Legion on you keep what you kill rules now.
Probably wouldn't help with the rioting situation, honestly. Okay, next roll. Ollie, what are we doing? I will say for the record, you've got enough assistance that at any point you can decide that this fist fight is not a valid encounter anymore and just have him gutted or shot. Obviously, you're losing a lot of face at the moment, though.
I wonder if we can involve guns in this somehow.
Probably not without dishonor, but also, yes, you can.
No, I mean, like, give him a gun as well. Like, you know.
I don't think he's gonna when he's winning the fist fight.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point. Fuck it. I'm rolling again. 4 degrees of failure. I think I'm dying.
What's your doff? Oh, 4, you said. So I make that to be -5 net so far on your end. -2! The two of you rush forwards, so that's, another -2 doff. Yeah, the two of you rush at each other, grappling and punching, teeth flying every which way, blood and sweat and screams and tears issuing from the two of you as you pound at each other, all fury and adrenaline. Roll again, Ollie.
I'm just checking something real quick.
Yeah. Give me a sec.
Yeah, okay, come on. Yeah, I'm just going to roll again. Yeah, it's 3 degrees of failure this time.
You might actually get to the inverse win condition.
Right?
Although,
at
4 degrees of failure, tell you what, if either of you gets a 1, it's an insta-win. If either of you gets 100, it's an insta-lose.
What?
Sorry?
What degrees of success or failure are we both on now?
So you're on net -8, he's on net 1. Positive 1. Plus 1, rather. As the two of you continue to bash away at each other. You can see servitors and adjutants blearily through your blood-soaked vision at the very edge of the sort of sandy arena ring, all staring at you in mixed horror and fascination, watching this rare incident of an Astartes fighting with another Astartes.
Can I use common law, forbidden law weaponry or any of my common laws?
You're fighting with fists?
Yes. I mean, I have Age of Technology weaponry that doesn't really count as, or just Age of Technology, I suppose.
Only if you or something, like, arguably involves Age of Technology era fists. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't exist, or that it couldn't exist, but I can't think how it would apply in this circumstance, I'm afraid.
Shall. Okay, I'm just gonna fucking go for it now.
I believe in you, Ollie. You can
4 degrees of failure again.
This, okay, maybe not.
Get a 97. Get a 97. He's gonna get 22. I got 5.
Okay, that's net 33, 32, 42. Net 2. -12 to 3. The punching continues. It's clear that you're in a bad spot, but he's struggling to capitalize.
What's the limit? What are we trying to hit?
10.
Ah. Okay.
You can Exodia this, man. You can still do it.
45. 1 degree failure.
Pull out your red eyes. Black dragon. That's 3 doff, bringing him back down to 0. I'll tell you what, if you hit -20, we'll call that a failure as well.
Yeah, I think that's probably a fair show. What am I on right now?
-13.
1 failure.
The two of you collapse in a pile of fists and screaming and sweat. That's 44. 1 DOS on his side. And again. Get 1, Ollie, get 1.
Degree of fucking failure.
This is a fucking slog of a roll. 16, right, what are we at? 26, 36, 46. 3 DOS, nets, minus 15 to 4. Really, I should have capped you all at 0 so we didn't have an issue with this. Cool. Next round.
I'm going to call the fight there.
Yeah? Define call the fight.
By saying that he's fought bravely for his life. And I can't deny a man who has fought so hard to remain alive.
An honourable yield.
An honourable yield.
He would be a fool not to accept it.
Because of the honour guard behind him, all with twitchy trigger fingers. Twitchier than his.
Yeah, twitchy trigger fingers are something somewhat endemic amongst Havoc Company. You call the fight there. Bleeding, battered and broken. Middling Nicholas likewise, but standing tall and upright, confident that he's earned his right to survive. The riots in the rest of the planet intensify. What justice is this?
Punchy justice.
So who's winning the fight? Sorry, I had to pop away for a little bit.
Oh, I just called it because it was a war of attrition for me.
Did you just fucking rage quit a duel to the death?
He didn't rage quit it. It was like very clearly he was slowly getting beaten to death.
And I basically just implied, man, yeah, you know what? You fought hard. I'll let you live.
Wait, you let him live?
Well, I kind of had to at that point. It would have been bad form otherwise. And you know what? What is a rioting planet anyway?
Letting him live lost face with the planet. Letting him die would have lost face with the Legion.
And I know which one is more replaceable.
Either way, we lose face. I'm just happy that I am not there to know about this.
I actually, if anything, think that was weirdly beneficial for Maccy. Like, people were definitely shit-talking him for the unilateral execution of a brother, but when he was like, yeah, you know what, we'll just fisticuffs it out, that certainly makes things fairer and more honourable seeming and more appealing to his murderous contingent.
As his Grand Captain hears the reports of this and has another aneurysm.
What reports are you sending, Maccy? You're the one with the astropath.
Everything's fine here. Don't worry about us.
You're getting, like, panicked reports from the Chartist captains coming out of Albadur down there in Ferdinandia, but they're always giving you panicked reports. Everything sounds fine. Maccy wouldn't lie.
I mean, I'm not lying. I'm just creatively interpreting it.
I think Creed's interrupting laugh says it better than any of the rest of us ever could. Meanwhile, Gary's world. What are we doing, folks?
It's a bit bad every time I hit Gary's world, I hear the guitar solo riff from Wayne's world.
Yeah, I got the same as well.
Right?
Don't really place it, I'm afraid.
I'll find it. I'll find that so
Yeah,
a
what are we
random
doing?
note related to the Xenos before I forget, and not quite related to Chime or Gary's will.
Mm-hmm.
Can I send another astropath to Benji? I can't remember if he told him before about our theory of them spreading the warp storm or whatever.
I don't think you had yet, but it's perfectly fair for you to have updated him since, yeah.
Yeah, I'll send him that as potential theory and say it may be worth beginning to move troops to fortify some planets around the Crevask line, just in case.
Sounds confusing to you. How would rock inhibit the Emperine? So, Gary's world. Team Rainbow Ocelot, what are you after? What are you doing? What do you want? Fairly
Spook
speedy.
rocks.
Spook rocks.
Unless anyone else wants something here. I mean, I can't lie,
Yeah.
part of me wanted to jump around in low G for a while, but other than that...
Yeah, I was looking for evidence of spook rocks or any other reason this planet might have been targeted.
It doesn't take you too long to locate the signature orbital bombardment. And although it's been thorough here, the low gravity means that particulate matter has blasted up into the stratosphere even more than it ordinarily would do. and you're able to identify more than a few microparticulates, as you know what you're looking for, of the mysterious black rock.
Okay. So I guess it's not necessarily true that the Black Rock places would be that near to a gate or warp storms.
The the Rogue Trader dynasty, formerly known as local pirate mobs, seem somewhat antsy with having you so close to their recently claimed capital world. But, you know, a deal's a deal, and they're now movers and shakers within the Imperium. What are we doing, team? Yeah, Nicholas, you're muted if you've been speaking, by the way.
No, I'm here.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. What are you doing at Chime? At Gary's world, folks.
That was about all I wanted to confirm, really. As if Black Rock was present here. I would have been more interested if it wasn't. We have their motive for attacking now.
Yeah, because I say with that, we've effectively gone from theory to confirmation. Or at least for what seems to be their targets. Don't necessarily know why. But other than that, I would like to go back to the aforementioned jumping around in low G.
I think you actually identified this from orbit, so you'd have to make a
Damn
stop
it!
to...
Someone
just asked the pirates for a dinner party on their world to celebrate its coronation.
Yes, that is exactly what we're doing, and we'll bring all the bunting they need.
Excellent.
Using up the entire expeditionary fleet's supply of bunting.
I mean, you guys do have other instructions as well.
What were those again?
to come to Ferdinandia to meet up with me. I did send
When
these
did
to
you
last
say
time.
that?
Yeah,
Last
I
time.
don't
I
recall
don't
that.
remember that, honestly.
Oh, I don't have it. No,
Well, when I sent you the message saying, I'm going to Ferdinandia, meet me there, please, I have subjects to dissect. and
Actually,
interrogate.
I think he did say that. Yeah, no, he's
I asked at the start if I knew where he was, and I was told no.
Yeah, I think that's my bad.
I'm shoving off responsibility.
No, I think that's valid. I think this is me forgetting and then miscommunicating.
Alright. Well, we can have a quick dinner party at Gary's planet, then go see the captain.
Sure. Charm roll from whoever's was sorting this, or whoever's taking
I'll
the lead of the
assist.
conversation.
I'll do it if you can assist me again, boy.
So, I mean, what, you're 37, right?
34. I'll say that.
Oh, coward. Stick with the 93.
Hey!
Hey!
Because, yeah, I'm only 30.
2 if Nick assisted you.
He didn't say he assisted before the roll. So that's a no, I'm afraid. Sorry, you say 1 DOS?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, your party with the recently minted Rogue Trader house is kind of interesting. It starts out quite, staid and as professional and upmarket as they can make it, and slowly escalates into discussions of Imperial culture and what it's like to travel the stars and to be part of this amazing fleet, and also how difficult void warfare actually is. They're not really used to it, nor does it sound particularly appealing, risking their everything in a battle that they just assume they'd be cannon fodder in. And then slowly, as the former pirates get drunker and drunker and drunker, you eventually decay into an escalating series of pranks, ending with one of them falling into a large vat of plasma coolant. The unfortunate pirate drowns, but you do win the bet that they would drown within a particular time limit.
I'm liking these pirates more and more.
Pirates.
Rogue traders, formerly pirates.
Well, they have a single rogue trader, Duke Garry of Gary's world, the Garry's dynasty. Gonna have to make these guys in next CK MP now. After that, you depart with all haste for Ferdinandia. Stopping anywhere along the way, or are you just going straight to Ferdinandia?
I'd say straight there.
Cool. In which case, I can probably actually move you back to the bar up the top. How can't I move your Nicholas? Weird. Cool. Coayah. Took you... what did you do, or what have you been doing after your big speech? And then we'll say the rest of the gang, Maccy accepted, gets there about a week after that speech. So what have you been doing in the interim?
Probably preparing the grounds for this lot to attack. This lot to arrive and sending messages and correspondence with the Omnicantic League, asking, when's your ships getting there for recovery in the polar system?
Protectorate rather than League, but yes. Yeah. So, you've been engaging in a series of increasingly distressed communiques with the Protectorate, saying that they're essentially having trouble getting ships through the strait on the Naxos side of the fortifications. Fort Zun, on the other side, no issues at the moment, but Naxos is becoming quite difficult to reach. And so far they've had several aborted attempts where their captains have been forced to make emergency translations to real space, or else risk losing fleet coherency. This is already starting to cause massive supply issues on Nicantis itself, as well as Orb. Oh, well, not Orb, but was it Orb 2, I think? Was it Orb Tertius? Yes, as they're starting to run low on resources usually imported from the Rimwood Raitling subsector, whilst at the same time rapidly stockpiling out of their capacity to hold things that they usually export. But they're working on it, and they're expecting to have the ships recovered inside of perhaps a fortnight, is the hope. It's just getting them back towed into the Protectorate for repairs that's the issue. This discussion, as well as preparations, go on for about a week before you're made aware that your little warp runner, the recently renamed Rainbow Ocelot, has arrived in system. It's less than half a solar day before the four of you are reunited. What do?
I would like to salute and greet the brother Grand Captain.
Brothers, I will be frank, we have little time. The captured technical details and specimens are upon the Obsidian Heart. We must attend to them with all haste. We must discover the truth of these wretched creatures.
Kind of do, Mr. Burns' finger Steve, like, yes.
Indeed.
And how is the Obsidian
Brother
Heart?
Kuzco and Brother Nazeem. The Obsidian Heart bodes well, brother. Rush him into victory in battle.
Wonderful.
Brother Kuzco and Brother Nazeem, your job will be to interrogate the aliens we have access to. Brother Coatlmox, I need you to pore over and obtain any and all relevant technical data from the recovered assets.
Of course, Brother Captain.
I need this information as soon as possible.
Okay. I will take an interrogation roll from Cusco against the aliens. Now, because you don't have a common language that you're aware of.
That's why I sent the nerd.
Yeah. So, what's your strategy here before you can do your interrogation roll, Cusco? How are you expecting to accrue information?
Yeah, I kind of hadn't gone that far, because part of me kind of wants or hopes that Nazeem could get in its head and interpret things like images.
Maybe our librarian has a book for it.
Yeah, a book.
Out of character, you're still muted, by the way, Nicholas. Out of character, for what it's worth, he's at least so far, generally seems to specialize in divination rather than telepathy.
Okay.
I've written law, Xenos, and Psychers. And then skill-wise, I do have reading. That just tends to be like their mood and if they're psychic and so forth. Other than that, my psychic powers tend to be more punchy. Augury could be interesting for what could be our biggest hurdle in this, which are the 3 biggest hurdles, I think, something like that. Which approach likely like language.
Because that's ultimately what's stopping us right now.
Yeah. Wait, I can use reading. No, wait. If he, if they can understand us, then I can use reading to tell, like, his emotional response to what we ask him. So at least we glean some sort of information. Also, reading will tell me if he's has any psychic powers, which I would assume would cover it if they communicate via telepathy or something. Would that be a fair assumption, Ewan?
If they've got telepathy, they would turn up to it, yes.
Yeah, I'll use some reading. Am I there in the room now, or are we prepping beforehand?
Well, I think at the moment you're just prepping. How do you intend to explain this unexplained power to your unknowing but quite nosy longest-serving compatriot?
I just explain I can read micro expressions, it's fine. I stay
super intuitive.
Sorry, micro-expressions on the faceless bread mushroom.
Exactly, I'm just that good.
Knowing that he eats brains, and I'm just gonna nod and smile and accept it without question.
Yeah, fair. I was like the one person they could do this with, and it's just like, yeah, sure, whatever.
And
Whilst furiously taking notes.
If the Grand Captain asks you where you got this information from, what is your planned answer, Kuzco?
Brain eating.
He's not going to ask. He knows better.
Yeah. It'll be like the "do you really want to know" sort of response.
You're just going to abuse his trust and your professionalism, essentially.
And it's not abusing it. We're getting him results, and it didn't hurt anyone. It's fine.
No. Well, I mean, it's going to hurt the guy that we're interrogating quite a lot.
Yeah,
so I'm not going to be doing it friendly,
And it'll be hilarious if you somehow end up with Perils of the Warp.
Yeah.
You absolutely
fettered. I'm not releasing any fucking.
But yeah, otherwise, I was planning to go. I don't have an entertaining way of saying it, but I'm going to torture the ever-loving fuck out of it.
I think that's the best I can really do.
Well, assuming they understand you, it's not the world's worst ask.
So yeah, that's I guess that'll be the thing. I'll bring any books I've got on Xenos of similar type, and yeah.
Perchance, does the Mechanicum have any strange tools for translation?
They do have an arrangement, and even your iterators would have some. Nothing for this situation, unfortunately, because you've got you don't even have a good basis for theory to go off of how they talk.
Oh well. Because, I mean, personally, I only really wanted live specimens to test out weaponry. So
that comes later on. You're fine.
Okay.
Oh, do we have a picture of their capital ship?
You do indeed, actually.
Cool. At one point, I'm going to want to show them that and see if we can get some kind of response from it.
Alright. Speedily then. Young Nicholas, run me through what's happening before your first reading. How does this interrogation of yours go?
Just checking now. Pretty sure.
So we'll have you roll your psychic power, then we'll do Carl's interrogation roll filter.
I do. Oh yeah, just roll for it, don't I? Because even if it's fettered. And the psi focus I have just adds to my thing, doesn't it? Just checking my bonuses. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So be fettered at 1.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's fate that.
Do you want to fate 33? Go on, stick with it. So you're not really feeling it.
There we go, I'm all good.
Okay.
That's like 3 dots, I think. I'm sure I'll roll a cat. Yeah. Yeah, 3 dots.
Cool. And in that case, Carl. Oh, what does that actually get you? What's it say on the chart?
Psyche gains specific impression about the target person. This includes 3 strongest emotions that the subject is currently experiencing, his race, whether or not he has any psychic powers, which is a bit I'm kind of interested in, and a rough idea of its state of mental and physical well-being. Lastly, the psyche determines whether the target is an untouchable.
Okay. The target is indeed a psyche. And the first and strongest, most overwhelming emotion that you get before we go on to Carl's interrogation. And you were sort of expecting something more unpleasant, something more alien, something less familiar here. The emotion you get is, honestly, if you didn't know any better, and you don't, in fact the opposite, you'd say that the Xeno feels happy to see you. It is emanating a sense of well-being and just good, chilled vibes. It's just...
What's up, bruh?
Happy to be here with you and this other horrifying alien monster in this room. Everything's pretty good right now. Everything's just fine.
Over our head comms,
That's not very reassuring, is it?
no, brother, it's is it me? Or does it seem like this thing is happy to see us?
It does not in any way seem like it's happy to see you, Kuzco. It is a large loaf of bread looking viscous-ish motherfucker.
It's a mushroom.
I'm going to think some moments, and then, fist in palms, wait, are you saying that this foul Xenos is laughing in the face of us?
No, seems reassured that we're, happy to see us, as in, I'm happy to see my brothers on the battlefield.
One of your last remaining memories of your life before becoming a Marine, Kuzco Nazeem, is of getting home from something as a very young child and seeing your little canid there, just happy to see you. This is almost the exact same emotion emanating from this Xenos. This captured prisoner of war. Canid, yes.
It's like puppy.
Yeah, your puppy. Your dog.
Can you tell if these feelings are directed towards him specifically or both of them? Oh, he said he was quite happy to see both of them.
Both of them, the room, really everything's just a good time.
Part of me wants to try giving it head pats. But, I don't know if I can determine where that would actually be on this thing.
It does not have a distinguishable head.
I kind of want to see if we can order it around, but I presume it's bound.
Nick
It
tries
is
to wash
thoroughly
knowledge out
bound
of his
yes.
brain.
I'm sorry,
No, you said there's Xenos. No, it's not that. It's something else. What the fuck? Okay.
Not the craziest
So,
thing to come out of the dark ages technology. Asbestos dog mushrooms.
These... what was the senescence again?
It's not.
You've not been rolling
the most
senescence.
sensible.
You've not been rolling senescence.
No, I haven't. That's why I'm asking, what does it cover in this? Because it's a bit different.
What are you looking for with senescence? Senescence is looking for unnatural phenomena's extrusions into the natural world.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. I want to tell if there's any sort of...
What are you hoping for? Because
I'm
you
hoping
already know
for
it's a
basically... Yes, it's I'm hoping for, disturbance of, you know how radios and that radio wave sort of thing? It's always looking for, a receiver? That, but for, telepathy and so forth. There's some sort of
That's not how senescence works.
passive psychic ability going off or something.
That's not really senescence.
I'm pretty sure senescence covers psychic powers being used.
Yes, but you'd see evidence of psychic powers being used in some, weird swirling dust motes or similar. You wouldn't be able to go like, oh, it's a telepathy power going off in the background. Like, there's a not insignificant chance you'd get false positives from the fact that you yourself are currently using a psychic power.
But isn't that the point of having a skill to determine what it is, right? Because I can fail it and then I can't tell. I'm using my willpower because you can use willpower or perception for these things.
Well, I mean,
so I can use my willpower.
Well, no, it depends on the role. Like you get to suggest, but you don't get to like auto pick. I want willpower or suggestion. Yeah, I don't think you'd be able to pick up the level of detailed information you're hoping for. You might be able to pick if it's using a psychic power constantly, but I'm not quite sure what you're after.
I want to try. Obviously, I don't have psychic power to telepathically communicate or anything, but I'm trying to figure out, is there a way to communicate with it, basically?
Yeah, senescience won't turn that up, is the thing. You might turn up that it's like low level using a psychic power or something in the background constantly, I guess. But you might also just as easily turn up that it's doing that because it's constantly making bad psychic smells or something.
Okay.
I feel like you might be grasping at straws a little bit, young Nicholas.
Well, that's the end of what I could do then.
Well, that's fine. You were only phase 1 of a 2-part interrogation, mate. And you did good. You got several new facts. So, to close the session then. Do we want to close the session now, or do we want to do the interrogation for Carl next week, actually?
Yeah, I'm happy to start fresh with it.
Okay, so we've got less than a minute anyway. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to, to tell you off there, young Nicholas. It just felt like you were, spinning out on searching for something to do without having a clear idea of why you wanted to do something.
I just wanted, general kind of, warp disturbances coming from it, basically. Which is kind of what senescence does.
Yeah, that is what senescence does. It just doesn't give you detailed information like that. So think of it like being a sort of psychic bloodhound, for instance. You might be able to track a psychic power, a psyker fleeing over a long distance by the sort of psychic resonances they leave behind them. But it won't give you the detailed psychic analysis you're trying to do. But if you want to roll senescence on it, you can roll senescence on it, and I can give you what information you'll get out of it. It just sounds like you want different information than what you're actually likely to receive.
I'll let you roll for it anyway.
I mean, one thing that you would at least determine, hopefully, is, there's a difference between, being a psyker and using psyker powers, right? So,
yeah, there's a level of disturbance. Is it, scary levels, or is it, background levels sort of thing?
I will take senescence over perception, please.
Perception? Not willpower?
Yep. Well, you're looking for things at the moment.
I like looking with, trying to feel with my mind sort of thing, rather than look around at the dust.
Still perception.
So
you couldn't say thinking with my mind and then get willpower instead of intelligence.
I don't think these things go off of willpower, and because I'm using that sense, that feel of the warp.
But
I'm interacting with my willpower.
Not using that sense. You're using your other senses, as well as the sixth sense of your mind, but that's represented by the senescent skill itself.
Alright. Nope.
Okay. Doff?
Senescence, plus 10, 48, 4? 48? 48?
Jesus, how high is your perception?
Perception is 38.
So 48, 58, 68, 78.
And I have plus 10 because of my senescence.
I make it to be 5 Doff. Oh, plus 10 then. Yeah, 4 Doff.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, no, you're mostly getting, at least when you turn your critical eye, your mind's eye, your actual physical eyes, to the tethered alien subject, indeed several other tethered alien subjects, you're definitely getting some level of background activity. But it's difficult to determine how much of it's bleed over from your own usage of psychic powers. And overall, it doesn't feel like bad vibes, it just feels comforting, oddly comforting vibes for a disgusting alien. And certainly at odds with their feeding methods and brutal martial strategies. For 4 DOF, I'm afraid that's all you're getting.
Yeah, that's rough.
Okay. Feels like a good place to call it. Reminders for next session. Anyone got anything they want to note down? Ollie, you're muted.
I have riots happening in Albador.
It's true.
Riots that could have been completely avoided. Completely avoidable riots, but still.
Well, I mean, these spirals happen, right?
I don't think I've ever had one of those one-on-ones that's gone my way.
Props to you for actually doing it. I honestly thought you were just going to have the guy, mowed down by gravity cannons. Instead of consenting to risking getting beat up on, live-action TV for billions of people.
He just didn't. I basically just did, WWF, but no one knows who's the heel. No one knows who's the good guy. Everyone's confused. Everyone's covered in blood.
I think
it's far more real than they've ever
That sounds
seen.
like the WWF.
Okay. Any other reminders?
Xenos interrogation and tech investigation.
That's fair.
I have successfully terrified Ferdinandia.
Warp routes around Naxos are getting worse. I think that was the planet was getting worse, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we can assume the whole strait is starting to stabilise, but, I mean, it's an assumption.
Yeah, we might just lose this half the sector. For now.
So if the strait collapsed, you'd be forced to skirt around the warp storms, which would both be a significant impediment to Crusade activity in this part of the nascent segmentum solar, and also would completely collapse the local economies. Not to mention the loss of a forge world is never good.
My other plan would be, sorry, a bit unrelated, but pile all the blackstone we can find from other planets onto Naxos as a priority, and then Ghoul and Ferdinandia as a second priority, to try and at least secure a line of potential safety with some food involved.
Something to it. If you could get the stuff into the warp. Any other reminders?
The pirates are now rogue traders, or the Garrys.
Fair. Anything else?
Xenos interrogation.
I think that's already been done.
Oh, has it? Okay.
Cool. In that case, questions? Anything anyone was narratively unclear of in that session? Is everyone following the plot?
I say,
Go.
I was just going to say, the physical form of the Agoreth.
Yes.
I'm literally just imagining a loaf of bread with arms and legs.
Doesn't even have arms and legs, actually. If you imagine more just a loaf of bread.
Okay.
So it's a loaf of bread on its small, short side. So a loaf of bread pitched up horizontally, so it's tall. And then when they need to move, they sort of sprout little tentacles, move or hold something. They sprout little tentacles and such from assorted places on their body. They move by sort of rapidly locomoting forwards with tiny tentacles along the lower stump. And at least from some of the vids, it seems inconsistent whether they're able to move on either side of the loaf, essentially. Some of them are, when they fall over like that, they're clearly on their heads and they can't do much, and some of them just sprout the little tentacles at that end as well and keep on going.
Okay, cool.
Anything else? No? Cool. Feedback. Anything you liked, anything you disliked, anything you learned some more or less of next time. I mean, I've got a minor note of it's consistent behavior, and I've never actually called it out before, but I think it's really cool that when Benji feels like he did too much last session, he will usually call it out if he feels like he's getting too much spotlight again and say, no, focus on other people. It's just very lovely, socially conscious behavior, and I like it.
I kind of did get to do a lot last time. It's like they got to, I got to fight a space battle. They got to investigate a crater.
But we're getting sweet answers.
I'm
proud of Rainbow Ocelot.
Knowledge. No, cool. Sorry, what the fuck were we talking about? Feedback, yes. Any other points of feedback from anyone? How are you feeling, Ollie and young Nicholas, I guess? Like, Ollie, I feel like in an attempt to search for things to, like, give you stuff to do on Albadeur, I don't know if I was being maybe a bit harsh. I know they were, like, your mistakes, but I couldn't totally tell if it was, like, fun, Zany, or, oh no, why have you fucked this up for me, Zany?
I mean, I guess I would prefer that one of my guys didn't collapse an entire building on top of journalists. It didn't feel too extreme at the time. It's a difficult one because I feel like just in general this episode today, whatever. I like some decisions took a long time to come to, which is something I've talked about before. I think. I guess is my feedback. Like, but I know you can't rush storytelling, but it feels how do I even put it? Like we're not rolling very much, I suppose is the best way of putting it. Like there's story elements that are happening, but they happen quite slowly. And so that means you have to me it feels like a dearth of rolling or active engagement in the storyline because you're trying to decide on something. Not you, this is sort of more general. But I also know you can't rush storytelling, so it's a bit of a pickle really. Because I don't think I can ask anyone to like speed up because that's not how it works. But also I feel like it does lead to like long segments where not much happens for a lot of people. And I don't know if there's an easy way of fixing that. Just something I noted.
I mean,
today.
it's still a useful note to have. Like, if nothing else, I feel like you need to course correct with this type of thing sometimes, and it's not at all like I definitely don't feel like it's uncommon for me, at least, for me to like go, no, it's fine. We'll do more rolling, veer back onto course to have more of a like 50-50 or 60-40 splits for narrative to roll to like dice rolling, and then veer more towards the pure narrative again over time. So even just having a reminder every now and then of like, oh, more dice, please, is pretty valid.
Yeah, so I like role playing, but I also like role playing.
Yeah, no, I know you're a dirty munchkin at heart, and you want your shiny click-clacks to do the numbers for you.
Exactly. Yeah, but no, it was fun. It was a good session today. I feel like as well because I wasn't around last week, and I was a little divorced from the proceedings this week, but it's fine.
Fair. And young Nicholas, how are you doing? I don't know if I feel like I might have been weirdly harsh on you, but I don't know quite how to articulate how.
I'm how to put it? It's not that I can't do anything, but it's that I'm not I'm finding it really hard to like engage with anything really. Like it's not our usual. Like it's interesting to start off with playing the Space Marines, but I'm really not clicking with it on a personal level. And it's just not quite like because I like playing our 40k games like for like the mess about and so forth. It doesn't feel like we're messing about as much as we usually do because there's all these extra kind of formalities that we have to adhere to because we are Space Marines and we have a reputation and we have to do these things. And it's cool and all, but for me, it's taking away from what we used to do. You can't really escape it because we are Space Marines. I think it's just not quite gelling with how I want to play everything.
Do you feel like you might gel better if you had like a non-Space Marine auxiliary that was just part of the player party?
I'm with Nick on this a little bit actually, because it's less. It's because we're so. I personally, Nick, feel free to tell me if this is wrong, but it's because we're so high up the chain of command. We're commanding other people to do the stuff we would normally be doing.
We have also done, I guess, like. Sorry, I completely cut you off there. Please carry on.
I can absolutely see where Nick's coming from, because it's kind of like I do kind of miss the old boots on the ground feel we had with, say, Dark Heresy Season 1, which was, full of crazy shit that we did, or that sort of thing.
It feels a bit more kind of, and it is more resource management sort of thing, but it's not resource management added on top. It feels like it's almost replaced the kind of nitty gritty that we used to be able to do. I know we can go down like boots on ground and so forth and whatnot and fight, but it doesn't feel like at the very start when we had our little squad and like we took down Jupiter and all that jazz, or Saturn, whichever one it was. Venus. Completely got it wrong. Because it was us and we got to make decisions in the moment, and like it felt like that was all flowing. Now it feels a lot more that it's a lot more kind of stand back, and those sort of moments just kind of pass in a blink of an eye, rather than us playing through it, I guess.
Fair. I mean, so there's a few possible alternatives here. One, like, we have done a lot of Dark Heresy campaigns, mini campaigns in a row, and we could switch over and do some other stuff and not keep doing the really high level things. And two, I think we could also potentially do some more like, what the fuck is that?
A load of scooters going past, sorry.
I see. We could do some, like, point of view campaigns from further down the chain of command. I do still vaguely want to do that Titan Crew campaign at some point, even just for a mini camp.
I think not to sort of dunk on your choices in any way, Don Nicholas. Possibly Nazeem is kind of holding you back because, like, the Great Crusade is possibly the worst possible era to play a Psychic Space Marine. If this was the 41st millennium, you'd be a lot, like, you could use your character to its fullest, but you can't just come out and say, yes, I will use my psychic powers to help me here. You've got to couch it in very hidden ways.
I did consider that, but I don't think it's something that's
it's more a gameplay thing.
Issue.
It's a gameplay thing, not a character thing.
Exactly. It's
fair.
I think what we're experiencing a little bit is we're getting, obviously I don't have as much of an issue with this, because I don't mind doing this as much, but I can totally see where Nick's coming from, because it's like, we're not doing Space Marines with a Dark Heresy-like playstyle, or doing Deathwatch with a Deathwatch-like playstyle. We're more doing Space Marines with an Apostate Marches type playstyle.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
To go back, I think, more towards Dark Heresy or Deathwatch potentially, that sort of thing.
Let me have a look and see what campaign things I have scheduled real quick. Oh, that's the wrong one. There we go. What's next on the list?
I think, like, much like it's like it's early on in our overall kind of timeline, maybe, but it feels like we're missing the old having buildings collapse, putting people in cookpots, tigers in the vents. The stuff.
I mean, there's still some room for that, to be fair.
Yeah.
All those things can happen.
I would say in terms of the tone, I kind of feel like I'm coming down a bit harsh on the professionalism side of the whole thing, but equally, like, I feel we've kind of got to have that sort of
balance,
professionalism
Yeah.
Balancing it out, because otherwise the Legion will dissolve into a bunch of skin-loving maniacs.
Yeah,
Or just go around killing everyone.
not wrong. If it's any consolation, the next 2 campaigns I've got you scheduled for, like, one is set entirely on a spaceship, and it's all personal stuff, and the other one is set, like, as part of a much larger army on a continent. So, there's... Because we have... Sorry.
So that's, like I say, it's not just the... it's the being a space marine almost. It's that because we're at that peak, I'm finding it hard to grasp how to grow as a space marine. I feel like I've just being a space marine or a librarian feels pigeonholey to me. That's purely probably because I don't have a lot of lore knowledge on the space marines. It's like space marines are these things, and like when I've looked at like previous characters like Nuzwell and whatever, because they're just people, they can go anywhere, but it feels like when I'm playing a space marine, it's like I'm doing this thing, and I actually have a job. It's like either I have a job description, I have a role, I do these things, and like the other stuff I can spice the character up with is just kind of almost filler, and it just doesn't feel, for me personally, fulfilling almost.
Say we've possibly got the main issue is we're bouncing. We're trying to find the Legion identity at the moment. Not found it, and we can develop as people, as Space Marines. We're not as limited, but we've not got something to try and force us to develop our own identities as people at the moment.
Well, there's nothing really forcing you to develop your characters or your personalities anyway in a standard RP. It's just that's naturally part of the RP. But I think because we are playing Space Marines, again, I say we, I mean, for me personally, this is my perspective on it, and the issues I'm having with it. I think everyone else is having fun, otherwise they would have said something. It's just that for me, it's just not quite clicking. And I don't want us to change everything and then other people will suffer because of it.
No, it's super valuable feedback to have, mate, and I think like I'll cut this down so we can move on to the other stuff. 'Cause I don't want to keep everyone for feedback forever. But it's thank you for raising the point, and right. I guess I'll have a sleep on it, and we'll see if we can find some ways to make it like more.
We'll see as
make it more inclusive to you. Either like absence makes the heart grow fonder, or in terms of like skipping and doing something else for a bit, or like drilling down a little bit more, or like seeing if you'd have more fun with a non-Space Marine character for a bit.
Basically, what I was going to say,
yeah,
because obviously we've talked about this in that we could come back to this campaign as it's a long form one. So I mean, I've been playing around with a Rogue Trader Season 2, following on from what happened in Rogue Trader Season 1. I know I've got a VTM campaign that I can run at some point. I've got a Mage campaign I'm pretty sure is done at this point. I know you've got a couple that you could run. There's other stuff we can be doing. We don't just have to keep going like, yes, we'll do nothing but Space Marines for the next year and a half. So,
yeah.
if people wanted, we could always take a break from these guys and then go off and do something else and come back at another point.
We do have the option. And I've definitely been thinking that it might be fun to do more campaigns, at least some of the campaigns that I've got noted down, especially ones that are perhaps a little bit more fillery as Halakan-style affairs, where it's like, this is the major campaign for this decade, and it takes a session this week. So we'll still... I don't think we'd be losing progress or anything by doing that. Cool, okay, well, food for thought for everything here. I don't think any, like, clear action points other than, like, lots of stuff to think about for everyone involved. Let's do, and thank you all for raising points. Alright, let's do some exploit. Ollie, you've let me down, I'm very sad.
Exploit!
It's too little, too late.
I got distracted by a funny Brexit meme that I wanted to send to my Conservative parents.
What a phrase. Plot progression. Does anyone feel like you made anything from plot progression this session?
Yes.
I will fucking murder you, Carl. God damn it. And if so, what?
Yes.
I will just veto the fucking XP if any of you don't have a goddamn example.
No!
We solved
We've
the pirate
co-opted.
problem.
Yeah. Which overall increases our potential forces for defending the subsector from the Xenos incursion, which directly impacts our core goal.
That's fair. Anything else?
I guess, to try to say it, Albador, didn't go completely tits up.
And you know what? The best that can happen.
I don't know if that counts as plot progression, per se. Plot treading water, maybe.
It counts as the progression of that world.
It will be remembered forever there, that's true.
We're
Albador
like,
will remember this.
like shoelaces or thread or something.
No, it's dental floss that's stuck in the mouth.
Okay, so I was kind of half right.
We've figured out more about the Xenos, in that we don't know necessarily whether they are a psyker species, but we know that they can produce psykers, at least like the one that we've got with us is, and the potential puppy-like behaviour. Like, so we've started actual research on the creatures themselves.
That's fair.
When you said puppy happiness, it's like, Nurgle, Nurgle, Nurgle!
Like, Nurgle is the happiest of all of the Chaos Gods, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Like, the only one I've ever seen, like, images with them smiling.
My current thought is his mood is the hive mind's mood of the big ship.
Excellent.
I think someone's hijacked the Dark Age of Technology weapon.
Character development. Does anyone feel like they developed their character this session? And if so, how?
I think that, like, a slightly more playful side of Kuzco has been allowed to come about, like, considering this whole Rainbow Ocelot thing, and it's, like, not so much a case of, like, oh yeah, you know, Medicaid, do stuff, like, and then it's just a case of, yeah, fuck it, let's have a tea party, and jump around in low grav.
Was one of the first times you had fun without involving political backstabbing, that's definitely true. Anything else? No? Okay.
Could I offer one slightly for another character, potentially, see if they agree with it?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Ollie's interactions with, like, Maccy doing his whole execution but not thing, like, it effectively, I see him going from a character that's just, yeah, let's destroy everything because breaking stuff is fun, to a case of being responsible and, like, thinking about the overall situation.
It's because Maccy is a political chameleon. When the murder waxes strong, he's crazy and skinny. When Coayah waxes strong, serious and professional.
So, I mean, like, ultimately it's up to Ollie if he, like, considers that as development for his character, but from an outside perspective it seems like growth.
Yeah, I consider that, I suppose. I kind of thought of that more as a role-playing thing, but yeah, I can see it as a... because I suppose that side hadn't really come out. So yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, you can arguably get it for both, as long as it, like, makes sense for both contextually and it's not literally the exact same point. And on that subject, excellence of roleplay. Does anyone feel like anyone else roleplayed particularly well this session?
I like the interaction with everyone on the ship towards the pirates. Just the three of them being like, do we betray them? Do we not? Do we do the thing? I don't know, it was quite entertaining.
Fair. Anything else?
Yeah, back to the previous point, like, because, well, I say in roleplay wise, for Maccy's, like, aside from the growth part, is the bit where it's just like, okay, I might lose this fight, let's take the political way out here. Yes, like, everyone's being fine.
It is terrifying watching Ollie become slowly better at being politically expedient.
What are you talking about? Feist was always politically expedient. Incredibly so. Expedient with his fists.
Well, I mean, we had a whole campaign, Ollie, where Ferdinand even, like, was very much a victim of his own innocence and desire to not be a dick.
Truth.
You wouldn't describe him as politically expedient.
No.
Man whose entire princedom was based mostly on his ability to kill everyone else in the room before they could stop him.
It worked most of the time, damn it.
It did, but only when you were in the room.
Yeah, I think. So he just reminded me of something that Mal said about Bill, because it's like when you mentioned the whole like kill everyone in the room before they can do anything about it. And I think he said like Bill's one of those characters that you never see do anything until he does, and then you know it's all fucked.
Yeah, I think I remember him saying that. I know what he means. It's a weird sensation to describe.
It's basically the exact same thing has happened with the London campaign I ran, where the entirety of the actual political establishment sort of fell apart a bit after an attack, and the only person still standing was basically Mithras's attack dog, who was so tough and strong that no one could feasibly challenge him, but had no real, like, actual idea as to what to do other than me strong, me smash.
Yeah, it did not go well for Ferdinand. Or, well, that's unfair. Like, it went well at parts and then unwell at other parts.
It just shows my character's strengths when, you know, the worst party in the world was performed by him, and then the best party in the world was performed by him, but in a room where he could kill everyone.
You did not run the best party in the world.
I ran the best damn party in the world.
I mean,
You ran a decent makeup party. So I make that out to be 160 experience points for session number 19. It's 20 points of plot progression, co-opting the pirates and successfully investigating the Xenos somewhat. 20 points of character development, that's Kuzco finally learning to be less stuck up, Maccy learning to be more honourable, and Maccy learning to be more honourable. 20 points excellence of roleplay, Rainbow, Ocelot, Yo-Yo over pirate treatment, and Maccy becomes politically expedient, plus 100 standard.
How much was that total again?
160.
so you remember last week you gave us out a single XP?
I do.
Like, I chose not to take it. Can I now retroactively take it? Because then I would have 666 XP.
Sure.
Can I
You
take
get
an
an
extra one?
Yeah,
to
can I
be
get
fair?
it as well? Yeah.
Ewan, what have you done?
Mistakes were made. Shut up. No one look at my chain. Fuck.
Are you just like, straight up?
Quick, say yes to giving us an extra 1 XP as well.
Please.
What have you done to your mouth?
Terrible things. Much like all the other terrible things he does.
I'll do terrible things to your mouth.
God damn it.
Oh,
he
God
nearly
damn
made
it.
it. The entire fucking session. Why did you give him the in? Okay. Sure. Everyone else can also have 1 XP.
Yes. Yeah.
Now you
What's
just
the
need to
total
do that
ranking?
8 more times.
Now I'm a 747.
What? The ranking levels. What XP threshold did we have to hit?
So we need like another 1,000 or something.
Or was it 5,000 or was it 6,000?
I forget. It's in the book. I think we were expecting to make it by the end of this one, though.
Because we're on 5,000 now. I'm looking and like, have we just ranked up? Did we just get a rank? I buy
Swear to
new
God,
psychic stuff,
if you
please.
fucking ranked up from 1 XP given as a meme, I'm going to be so mad at you.
I wish it was, but no, we're 48 over.
Yeah.
Still too close to comfort. For comfort.
Uh,
I'm not sure. You'll have to check the rulebook, I'm afraid.
Because, yeah, I've got to admit, I'm in a weird place with XP where I can't really buy anything because I'm locked out.
Yeah, same.
Are there not the general Space Marine things you can buy?
What was the total XP from this session, sorry, please?
161.
Oh, 161.
It almost feels like a waste to do it.
Because, yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, the general ones are, I say, either not relevant for the ones that I can buy, or again, like, I'm locked.
I'm not really sure, honestly.
Creation, XP.
Heroes is 16.
Well, you know what? I think it's a discussion for a less tired time, so let's get these highlights knocked out real quick, shall we? And we'll do Carl first, as he's been very productive this session. Carl, you got any highlights for this session?
Oh dear. Like, trying to phrase this. Gary the Gary of Gary's World.
A strong dynasty. A noble dynasty. A dynasty that shall last for thousands of years.
I both really genuinely hope they do, and at the same time, I hope they get, like, crushed.
Continuing that yo-yo. Any other highlights?
Rock'em Sock'em Battle Brothers.
God damn it, having to type this and I can't see. Any other highlights?
Puppy Bread.
Took me a second there to realise the spelling you meant. Anything else?
That's it, thanks.
Young Nicholas, do you have any highlights for that session?
Puppy Bread was taken. Does that fungus look happy to you?
Any other highlights?
I think that's about it.
Cool. Creed, do you have any highlights for that session?
Yeah, sorry, I haven't been paying attention, so I don't know if I'm repeating them. My apologies.
That's fine,
the Garry and the Garrys are formed.
I already done that one, I'm afraid.
Oh, I got a few Garry ones. Cured the pirate problem.
I'm putting cured in inverted commas.
It's not technically a pirate problem if they're no longer pirates.
Isn't it? Really, all you've done is create privateers, which are simply a subset of pirates.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but they're not the same word, and that's what matters.
Doubt. Any of the highlights, Creed?
Vollont-Garry.
God damn it.
What is that?
Remember, it was Gary, Valley, and Tally. The new systems.
There's have commas. God damn it. Any of the highlights?
The Garry's Planet coronation party. I don't know if coronation's the right word. No.
It is a coronation. You're getting a crowning. I mean, he declared himself Duke, but, it's his planet, so.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot he was a Duke.
Yeah.
Like, if you got your own planet, why are you calling yourself a Duke?
Well, I mean, he got to pick his title, and I guess he likes the title of Duke.
I mean, yeah.
Any other highlights?
Let's see. The boltgun tradition lives on. So both Coayah's 1 bullet, 2 kills, and Maccy's disobedient boy killing a bunch of journalists with a single bolt.
The other guy, to be fair, used a grav cannon rather than bolt pistol. But
I thought he managed it with a bolt.
Yeah.
It would be an immensely impressive trick bolt pistol shot to crush a bunker. Any other highlights?
Ollie gets called out and answers. Or other than that.
It's the equivalent of taking the gloves off. 5 minutes of removing armour.
Anything else?
If you slap some of those gloves though, it hurts a lot more.
I think I said 10 even. Any other highlights?
That was it for me.
Cool. Ollie, do you have any highlights for that session?
Nick being told that we obey laws of inertia in our good Christian role-playing game. Nick on being told that we obey the laws of inertia in our good Christian role-playing game. Sounds like heresy to me.
Don't know how I would get that into one fucking highlight, Ollie.
I've literally written it in Discord.
Yeah. You're just the method.
The formatting is so bleh.
And yours is beyond reproach?
No, but, that doesn't make this better. It's whataboutism.
What else? Accidental riot.
Really being charitable to yourself with the singular there.
Yeah.
Anything else?
There was accidental riot and then doubled down on the riots.
Accidental planet-wide riots. You happy?
No, I'll write your revisionist history. That's fine.
Remember, history's written by the winners, and I'm a spaceman, so I'm always a winner.
We started from no riots, and now we're here.
You know what? In some cultures, that's considered great.
Any other highlights, Ollie?
What do I have? I have one for... Oh, Benji, the attempted assassination on Kuzco. Not Kuzco, sorry. Coayah.
Didn't even get to the Tyrannus.
Got 6 Semper Blam.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 deaths with 1 bolt shell.
My favourite of all the Sith. Anything else?
No, I'm good. No, nothing else.
Cool. And last but not least, Benji, do you have any highlights for that session?
Think of them. I'm not sure I do. I think everything that I was going to say has been said.
Yeah, likewise, honestly. It was a good crop of highlights. Okay, thank you all for a very entertaining session number 19. Anyone have any final words for the recording?